All right. And we are live. The last word with Lord Cognito and Ebontis, fresh on that Friday morning campfire, ready to talk a lot of Destiny and maybe some other things. What is going on, Ebontis? How are you doing, sir?
Man, it has been quite a week this morning. Has honestly been a little bit of a slow start. Just kind of getting the ball rolling, but this week has been interesting. So I actually beat 2 different games this week.
Ooh, what you
we
beat?
got a
What you beat?
preview stream. We got a lot going on. So for me, I finished up Neo 2, finally finished the
salute.
final boss, everything.
Wow. Salute.
So, but
How's
granted,
your ranking?
honestly, like
Yeah.
I'm level 118, 17, somewhere in that realm, level whatever. To be honest, like
Yeah.
beating that game on normal difficulty, it's not to the level of like a Nier Automata where it's like multiple endings. It's more that like the game opens up and gets even deeper. Like you now go like New Game Plus. Like I've been watching a couple videos to see like people mention New Game Plus being cool. Like there's a whole crafting system in there, and then like kind of using soul cores and fusions and different things that doesn't even start until you beat it for the first time, or you may as well not. So like your gear, you can get a new tier of gear in New Game Plus. You can get like a new set of stats on there, and you can go through, and then potentially what I've heard, and so I guess what they did before, because I didn't track Neo 1 as much, like each DLC is going to introduce like a newer difficulty and newer levels of things. So it's like just the base run through the game that already kicked my butt enough is like what apparently they say they're just getting started.
Okay, salute, man. I mean, so where would you rank as far as the difficulty comparison to like a Sekiro?
Sekiro is so weird because it's like it's so much about the parrying.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to like
true.
parry, like you got to learn the rhythm of the boss in a different way. But it's like you got to be up on the boss to actually knock him down. Because if you just like dodge the entire time and take swings, it's so much of a longer fight than it should be.
Okay.
So it's a different combat style. I mean, you got Bloodborne, which is like the one that broke me. Honestly, I really hope, crossing my fingers, Bloodborne comes to like PC or 60 frames or whatever. Like there's a refresh for it because I want to play it again.
I'm gonna say without spoiling too much, I'm hearing strong inklings that your dream will come true.
I mean, I've heard the same thing since I've been like kind of. So that seems like it's like, okay, we got hopes of that one. And I would definitely jump on it again because that was like my first Souls.
Yeah, that's
so like I didn't play like Souls 1, I didn't play Demon, I didn't play Souls 2. I played Bloodborne, I've played Star Wars, I've played Sekiro, I've played Dark Souls 3. Trying to think if there's anything else. Probably 1 or 2 others. A Neo one.
A Neo one.
It's up there though. Like from Neo 1 to Neo 2, it's a step up across the board.
Dope. Dope.
Just overall, like for me to put my words together in a review would take a little while. Yeah. And also seeing New Game Plus, I'm honestly just getting started. And the funny thing is, like, I went mostly into kind of a magic stat build because that's the one that helped the weapon I was using, which was the Switchglaive. It's kind of like a scythe, like a Grim Reaper scythe. And then I mostly just went for health. But there's like completely different builds of like throwables, like ninja stars and stuff that you can like dive into on that one. There's swords. There's like double hatchets, double swords, a giant Odachi, like 2-handed thing the size of me. There's like 7 different weapon types I didn't even play with. I played with 1 because I just focused on that. So I like
Destiny.
Like,
you were stuck with your dad bod.
This is not a dad bod, thank you.
You had your dad bod sword?
There's no dad bodding in Neo 2. I'm gonna be honest. There's no dad bodding in there, so you better not say that. I mean, you can go ahead and pick up the Switchglaive and see if it's a dad bod weapon. So we'll see how your progress through the game goes.
I leave all those difficult, stressful games to you, man. Those are amazing to watch stream. I admit I do not have the mental stamina, nor do I have the patience anymore. But I will say this. Let me shout out myself on I'm a big turn-based guy. When we had Bife on, I know he's huge turn-based. He's an XCOM guy like me. So I picked up Gears Tactics on PC. I've been rocking that. I got that finished. Man, let me tell you, that game is difficult towards the end. That game pushes limits. Like for people who come from the Xbox universe, I would say XCOM 2 War of the Chosen is probably one of the hardest. This could rival it, but I will say this. The boss fights and the production value in this game are tremendous. And this is Unreal Engine 4. So I'm already hyped at what 4 is doing right now. We already seen 5 with the PlayStation 5 demo. So salute to Gears Tactics. My only nitpick would be they have side missions that are not really side missions. They're mandatory missions before you can advance the story. And those get a little repetitive. Yeah. But the game, it's a prequel in the Gears of War universe with a legit story, with Kate's pop. It's really, and I like him as a character. It's really good. So I got that done. I got Mortal Kombat Aftermath done. I'm getting a lot done when I don't play Destiny. I'm just noticing this. When I don't play Destiny, I am the most productive, hardcore gamer. So all the guys that always like clown me on Gamerscore stuff, let it be known. Destiny is just that amazing that, you know what I'm saying, if I was to really focus and go after you guys, I could do it. So shout out to Randall Thor, shout out to all the Gamerscore people who usually give me crap because they always see me on Destiny. But yeah, it's been a fun little 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of refresh my batteries. I've been checking in, I've been looking at your Twitter. You know, you've been taking these illustrious photos that we have in the back. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get to that in a minute, yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Neil Mental. What did I think of the new XCOM? Yes, I have it. I tried it out. Chimera Squad. It's good. It's just different. I kind of look at it as a side story in the universe. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that for whatever reason, Gears Tactics grabbed me first. So it's in my pecking order of like, it moved down a spot because Mortal Kombat, I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I love the narrative, so I had to beat the DLC, which continues the story. Gears Tactics looked amazing. I had to get that done. So I say I will do probably, if I could sneak in Chimera after Last of Us, I'm doing Last of Us right now. And try to sneak as much as I can before that comes, and then we'll see what happens. That is definitely getting started
on June 19th. Mm-hmm. That's why, for me, I didn't start Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is on my backlog for sure, because that's so good, I've heard. But I don't want to rush that thing. I haven't played it before, so I really want to like take it all in and enjoy it. And I don't want to rush it. So.
You're smart. Oh, shout out to you for playing Inside.
Yes, that's what I was going to get to. So that was the other one. I played that in one night. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Inside or Limbo, some of you may have, some of you not. Play Dead. Awesome studio. Limbo I played first, and I got it on like an iPad, and this is what this little game did on an iPad. I was in a middle seat on a flight home, about a 2.5 hour flight, and I start playing this thing on my iPad. It's kind of black and white, kind of grayscale. I mean, it's not too great. Like Inside would have been a bit graphic for a plane. Get to that.
Yeah.
But it's still got a couple gruesome, it's platforming and puzzles and a little bit of kind of horror-ish. It's like a horror-ish platform puzzler, and we're working through. Yeah. And by the time this flight is done, the people on either side of me are like both looking in and kind of giving me contributions of like how to help me solve the puzzles and stuff like that. I don't finish it on the flight. I literally get home from the flight, and the first thing I do is lay down on the bed and finish this damn game on the iPad like before anything else happens. So that was Limbo. Played that the first time. And for the longest time, I knew Inside was out. And it's been out for years at this point.
I'm so proud of you.
And I've wanted to play it forever. And I was just like, I finished up Neo 2's like first playthrough, and I was like, what do I play? And then I was going through just like kind of backlog, and I remembered I was like, I still have my Origin Access, and I've got a couple things on there. And it's like, and I was like, I could knock it out in one stream. And I look, I'm like, it's about 4 hours, and I was waiting for my wife to get done with the call. So I started like 9, and I was like, it's going to be kind of a late night, but I technically don't have to get up early. So we started. I will say the way that game, with 0 words, 0 dialogue, 0 text, the environmental storytelling, the sound design, the lack of music, or when you add music, the animations that they did. It was so good.
So
good.
And
I'm not gonna give spoilers away. The climactic final piece in that one, the whole
nuts.
Absolutely, what in the hell is the story? It's like a weird book that you could interpret 12 different ways, and there's a lot of people that have theories about it. But I will say the way they did the animation for Final Thing,
yes.
Like when you're working on puzzles and moving things around in said thing, and I'm not spoiling it because if I do, it's just crazy.
You cannot be. This game is such a masterpiece. You can't spoil anything.
No, so if you have 4 or 5, I did it in about 3.5 hours. I was I had a pretty good clip through the puzzles and stopped at a couple points, but it says about 4.5 hours if you want to do it all. And there's a couple secrets I could go back through and find, which you can hop to missions and get. But overall, Dude, like I was playing through, half the people in the stream were probably watching me play through it, and there were just points it was dead silence, and it was like all I heard was the character just breathing, and you're looking in there, and then and then you hear like music pick up, and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then just the way it was such a well done. I don't want to say little game, like it's an indie, but honestly, like an indie studio for even like a 5th game, people would probably kill to make one that good. Much like their 2nd game. Dude.
Yeah, dude, they are geniuses. I mean, like I said, I'm so glad you played that game. That's one of my little smaller indie masterpieces. I was so happy it got critical acclaim, and it won a lot of game awards too. So salute to that. It's what you said about the playing story. It's the perfect game to show someone who's not a gamer. I've won people over on that game who are not gamers, and they sit there and they're like, wait a minute. All right, what if you move over there and try this? And they're over my shoulder, you know, that kind of thing.
It's an backseat
It's amazing. Yeah. Atmospheric storytelling, just a beautiful. I will say this though. Did you I know we've been talking real long on the other games we playing besides Destiny.
I know.
But I wanted to ask you, did you do the secret ending yet?
No, I haven't. I need
Please do. You cannot talk to me yet until you do that. It is mandatory. Basically, you got to get some special items on each level.
Yeah.
You do that, and then you get. It's one of the great discussion pieces in what are we interpreted happening. Right. It is. I mean, we can get philosophical with that. Oh, yeah. That's how it's good. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Play Dead Studio. My man E getting cultured. Look at the culture in E right now. Proud of you.
Thanks. Not sure how to take that phrase. But
as if he doesn't play anything
I was like,
good, right?
as I'm not cultured or something? I'm not
as if
sure.
his other game choices are not good. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what's going on? This other thing that we like.
So the world of Destiny, sorry guys for the tangent, but it's been, kind of an off week, and we'll get into why there might be a little more time to have off weeks. But if you guys are watching the video, you can obviously see the background. If you're in the audio, there's a picture of what looks to be a sunrise, and it's like I pulled the screenshot from Destiny. And for those of you guys that haven't been paying attention, still be like, hey, I got my Fell Winters, I'm done until I hear what's coming next season. I have been staring into the sun at noon in this damn game for days in a row.
Yes, you have.
So my whole thing when it started was, I was like, okay, we have 2 weeks left in the season. This was on Tuesday, like for reset. 2 weeks left in the season. I was like, all right, in my head, this is what I had kept saying on Twitter, and to everybody else, this was like my claim of like question. I was like, okay, so on the 26th, we're going to have something happen with the Almighty. That'll give that a little breathing room. That thing's going to wrap up. Then you'll be like, hey, you got one more week. And then next week, coming up, a week before the season starts, as they've done in previous seasons, 1 week before, Tuesday, we'll get this like 10-second teaser. Hey, tune in tomorrow at this time for the full trailer.
Yep.
Wednesday, the trailer would come. We'd all talk all about that, and everything like that would happen, and the season would launch. Much to my dismay, log in on Tuesday, and we're like, nothing, like freaking nothing. And then I'm like watching Twitter, and somebody's like, you can see the Almighty in the sun. I'm like, BS. And then all of a sudden, I at first didn't believe it. And then you go in the tower, and it seems that like noon in the tower is like sunset. You have to like wait like 15 minutes for the damn sun to come back up. So I've been staring at these mountains in the background way too much as well. So finally, I'm like, okay. So some people like if you squint really hard, or some people have this like fuzzy image on a TV, like pixelated monitor. And they're like, hey, you can see it. And I'm like, seriously? So I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to, and I'm like, maybe I can. I'm like, all right, so let me turn my resolution on my game as high as I can, render resolution even higher. Every video setting is cranked to the max. And I'm like, all right, let me take a screenshot. And I plopped that screenshot over into Photoshop. And all I did is, if you guys know Photoshop, this will make perfect sense. But you can have blending layers where 2 different layers kind of like blend together, or if you see like overlays, or you'll see how somebody put like text that kind of looks like the background image. There's certain ways to like blend images together, and one's called multiply. And I couldn't probably define it perfectly right now, but as I add copies and copies of multiply, it kind of would basically make things contrast more. It would make the image of the Almighty on the sun just pop perfectly. It looks like just a perfect black silhouette on the sun. So I'm like, okay, they're not lying. Like it is absolutely for real that the Almighty is just plopped out there in the skybox,
right there,
sitting in front of the sun and between us and the sun. And I posted that on Twitter. It was a popular picture, apparently.
Bro, you done broke Twitter now. You done got popular.
No.
It got hot.
But, I mean, it did just a little bit of, like, the tiniest little bit of Photoshop. Because everybody's, like, trying to take, like, iPhone images on their TV and stuff like that. And people are looking at it. And I'm just like, let me just change it one thing. And I put, like, a 60-second video out there showing, like, here's the image. I'm doing nothing. I'm literally just copying multiply layers and you can see it pop perfectly. And then I just zoom in. So it's like, I'm not messing with it. So it's like, that got a little bit of traction.
Yeah, you
so
don't do it. You nailed it, bro. You nailed it. Like, your image was money.
So the Almighty's in the skybox.
Yeah, we are.
What are your thoughts about that? As it hasn't moved in 3 days.
Yeah, it hasn't moved. You know, listen. You know, we'll get into. I want to get into it. Into it was based on what the TWAB is, but again, what I'm going to say probably kind of links to that, and it just it was interesting that it really didn't progress much, and we didn't get this ominous thing that I thought we was going to get, like hovering, looming over. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting, and based on what we're about to talk about with the TWAB, what they're about to talk about, I definitely have some theories as to why it is in the state it is in, but I'm going to hold that until we read what we got to read.
Okay. So, for basic astronomy math, we're back to this again, by the way. I was like, okay, so I was talking with chat and I was like streaming and trying to figure out, I was like, okay, so how far away is this? Because somebody had mentioned at one point on Twitter, somebody was like, well, hey, if we can see it from our atmosphere, it should like crash in like hours once at the point we see it for the distance that it's got to travel. And I was like, okay, so we got to do the math.
We doing speed of light stuff now? What are we doing?
Well, no. Okay, so like obviously the planets orbit around the sun, so you could be on one side or the other. So distance isn't always going to be the same. But the average distance that Mercury is from Earth is 48 million miles away. It's a long ways. Now, for reference, the moon from Earth is about 250,000 miles away. So we're talking 48 million miles, 250,000 miles.
Right.
Now, the season's roughly 90 days. Ballparking basic numbers here. So if you say, hey, we start the season in the Almighty, that thing's supposed to be traveling towards Earth.
Right.
If that's the case, on average, it needs to travel 500,000 miles a day. It needs to travel twice our distance from the Earth to the moon every day. It needs to travel twice that in a day to make it here. Now, if there's like space and acceleration, it should, in a sense, be like gaining speed the entire time. So the idea that it's not moving in the game, for math's sake, usually when Bungie's like really all over this stuff, is the point where I'm like, all right, it's a video game and I have to stop. But like, if it's parked out there, it's not functioning as it should be, is all I'm saying.
Listen,
so
let me
I know that's nerdy ass math.
No,
but
this is very adorable what you're doing right now.
Very adorable.
This is like you're touching my heart with your passion for this lack of content that we have, that you are breaking this down to the subatomic. Like you are there. This is just, you are so. Oh, like you're just warming my heart, brother. We have gotten to this point where there is nothing going on in this game, where we are breaking this thing down. You got my man E. He's in his bag right now. Look at my man, right? He's doing his thing right now. He's why he's one of the best. But man, we need some content for you, E. We need some content for you, E, right now. But man, can't break this picture down any more better than this.
This is why we talked about other games for like 15 minutes, by the way.
That's why we had.
I can only stare into the sun so long.
Like, it is affecting us right now. It is affecting us as
I am apparently
creators.
going crazy looking at the sun for too long. It has actually damaged my eyeballs and my brain, and I am crazy. No, like, usually, like, I give Bungie credit because typically they have, like, you know, cool things. They always make sure Titan. They've got, like, Eris Morn, and there's literally a Centaur, which is, like, an object out in our solar system called Eris. And it's like, they have all of these things that they reference very well. And then I'm sitting there looking at a Almighty, which didn't move over the course of the 3 days. And the main reason is, if it did start, like, showing up on Tuesday this week, I honestly think even if it didn't, like, travel by math, because by math, like, if we saw it, like, at the sun, it probably should have crashed into Earth, like, 12 hours later.
Absolutely.
But if it did at least just like get bigger every day,
Yeah,
I think
that
that would have
dope.
been
Yeah,
cool.
that'd have
Like
been dope.
over the course of the week, this thing's like, you know, starting to get pretty substantial. And then on Tuesday, everything hits, maybe, we'll see. We'll talk about that. But I would love to have seen it just change in size. So everybody's like, this is bad. And just I'd love it to get in there. Cause like looking at the sun and seeing the damn thing the same size every day is like, I want an update on this thing because it should not be floating out there.
You know what should have happened? Something similar to what was it? What was the wax season? They did something good though in the wax
Drifter
season. No. What was Shadow Keeps accompanying?
Oh,
Season of the Undying. Yeah. Remember when they were building the structure for the what was it? The gate, the warp gate in the tower.
Yeah. Yep.
Like remember each day we were like, oh okay. Like that, like something mimicking that in reference to, you know, this thing coming. And that would have been, you know, really cool and acceptable and stuff like that. And I mean, that it is surprising. And I want to say what I want to say, but I can't say it without respectfully, we haven't gotten to the TWAB yet. But it is definitely disappointing as to, you know, why that hasn't happened. But, you know, shout out to Prescott, construction was weekly, you know what I'm saying? But again, you know, we know this thing has been, like, put it this way, they've been treating the Doritos with the energy that the Almighty technically should also have, right? When we log in, we like, oh, Rasputin, here come the Doritos. Oh man, they're here. They're imposing. Like, really, if you look at it, this season's content, the main theme, really hasn't been stressed outside of us building the towers, right? When you come into the planet, you see the towers get higher. Yeah. Okay, he's getting that full strength. But the Almighty, like, even if we would have had like a little cinematic of dun 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 dun, like a shark, dun 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 dun,
just like halfway through the season, just like it's flying, like where is it in relation to Venus or something? Just like have it go, just something out there, and be like something. Just like a little thing as a reminder, by the way, this thing's still going. Like,
it's still here.
It's been the weirdest season for them to be like, day one, Almighty, Zavala, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Like nothing.
Till like week 11.
There almost feels like they got their threats mixed. You know what I'm saying? The threats got twisted. Like the season told us the threat was this, but then we see it's this, and we forgot about Almighty already. And that's
5 weeks in, the Almighty was like, who cares?
Yeah, now Almighty's upset now. I'm like, look, you were so worried about the ships. I'm going to take my time. You'll get me and your son pick when I'm good and ready to get you.
You got your Guardian games to celebrate through. You got to go do this quest that's going to be bugged. You got public events to do. You got stuff to do, man.
Absolutely, man.
So, staring into the sun will probably continue. I don't know if it matters, but daily reset, I tend to be around my computer, so we will see.
Sounds good. Hopefully we get something, man. We need something.
But we'll get into the TWAB, but it's like, it has been a very, like, when you think back on this season, like, if I did a video, because, like, Dado's done them too, and it's like, I'm honestly, like, a review on this season would be, for one, a pretty rough account, first off. But on the other side, like, somebody was like, what content did we get in PvE stuff? And somebody's like, no, like, for PvE content that we actually, like, got, we're like, we have a public event in the same space. We have lost sectors in the same space. We had bunker clearouts, which are like baby lost sectors, but like we haven't got like a sundial activity. We haven't had anything for like 6 months. Like we haven't seen a new activity in about 6 months, and that's weird.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's why when people are like gonna rate Season of the Worthy, they'd be like, where's it rate? And people are like, the bottom of whatever list you're gonna put it on. The bottom.
It's just funny because of the name of this season. I think it's the irony of the name of this season.
That didn't help it.
Did not help. But yeah, man, it is really. Even when I try to be like, okay, there's got to be something, right? And even when I did Fell Winters, which thank you, I don't have to get abused by you anymore. I have. But you know, even that, I was like, okay, you know, cool. But
did you like the lore story that you got?
Yes, I like the lore. Are we full spoiler free?
Oh yeah, no, we are. Last week we bit our tongues off last week.
Shout out to Teddy. Teddy was awesome. You know, shout out to you. You guys are awesome, but not spoiling that. Like, you guys, it was really good. I love the deception. I love, you know, the tyrant. You know, his Rasputin is kind of messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so basically, he had, you know, Feldwinter living amongst us, and, you know, supposedly running back, but, you know, obviously the light and his, you know, thing for humans changed. Now, what's cool is the lore on the shoddy was really cool, because you see him, I believe he's talking to Lord Timur, and it was like keeping the secret of like what you actually are. That Feldwinter is actually part of, he's part, you know, human, I mean, part guardian, part Rasputin thing, you know, kind of thing. And just to find out that, you know, the Iron Lords, the Siva was Rasputin, man. Damn, Rasputin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I love the emotional side, you know. Apparently, obviously, Rasputin does have some regret, obviously. Yep. And then, you know, but the only thing I will say is this: being that he was part Rasputin, I'm just surprised that he can't, and he was an exo. He's kind of mechanical in nature, almost all around. So I'm like, well, why can't he be brought back? Maybe this is a question for Bife. You know
Probably
what I mean?
Would
like,
be.
I'm just curious. You know, I know Siva kills the you know, can kill your ghost and all that stuff too. But just for the lore guys, I was just curious. You know, what that whole, I'm just curious that why he can't be brought back, especially being that he was part of Rasputin. I think that part of him kind of can do a comeback, but I guess, you know, they just wanted to give us some context to Feldwinter, the whole story behind the lie. Because to be honest, I thought Feldwinter's lie just meant Feldwinter himself was a liar. But the reality is the lie is who he was, who he really was, that, you know, about his mission, his initial mission and stuff like that. So it was a good piece of lore. I really enjoyed it, I have to say. You know, Daniel Stewart. He said file.
Okay, yeah, it was like it was copy and it was cut and paste, not copy and paste. They did it wrong.
Oh man, hilarious!
That was the difference there. So
I like that.
No, it's like, I mean, that was kind of cool about Feldwinter. You got to see, like, I mean, the fact that, you know, it's like and the tyrant wept, and you're like,
yeah,
Rasputin, big AI weeping? Question mark. Like, is there an emotional piece to like the fact of what he did and potentially killed his son per se, or however you want to reference him? I was like, it was a deep story for what was potentially like an AI type moment. And you're like,
yes.
And then what'd you think of the room when you got down there?
That was pretty cool. I like that old bunker. I love the joint, the little, you know, the little robot crypt, and it was cool. I really enjoyed it, man. I thought it was a nice little story. Listen, one thing I will say, as terrible as this season is, in general, one thing about the season format that I have liked is they've at least attempted story moments. And each season there's been a story moment. They at least try, not all the time they knock it out, but, you know, that one was a nice little bit. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. And I like these kind of bits. But as far as connective tissue bits, we still got work to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, I was talking to like my stream too, and I was just like, how? I'm like, I was honestly wondering, like, how have these stories connected? So you had like Season of the Undying, and then like as we were messing with the portal, then the portal kind of broke time, and then all of a sudden Osiris is over here with the sundial, which you don't just like make in a day. But then apparently the sundial's like, ooh, the Cabal, they want to try and fix time. So whatever Red Legion were left are trying to be like, hey, let's reverse this back and try this again. And then we brought Saint back. Saint's parked in the tower. We went from Dawn to Worthy because, hey, the sundial didn't happen. So the backup for the sundial, again, the Red Legion for like the 7th time, go to the Almighty.
Yeah. And
they're like, hey, let's point this thing at the last city as a futile effort to kamikaze this ship into the last city. Are we done with the Red Legion at least?
Yeah, I need to be done with the Red Legion. I'm like, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Like, can we be done?
I was all about Cabal when D2 started, because I've always liked Cabal because I feel they didn't get represented enough in D1. But I am Cabaled out. Like right now, it's like if it ain't Callus, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, shout out to Bife though. He did,
or his daughter or whatever.
Yeah, when Bife came on and he talked about the daughter, you know, and that intrigued me, because I do like the female Cabal flow. You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie. But for right now, you know, let's just put it this way. You know, they are in dire need of the new race. They are in dire need of, like, we have kind of, you know, I don't say exhausted, but we haven't had enough break between the races. That's where a new one should come in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, down on with you, bro. Like, I remember when D2 came, I was like, yo, Cabal raid. I was so open, and like super hype. And then that has been D2's thing. There's been, you gonna get this, Cabal. You gonna go back. You gonna do 4 raids on Leviathan, playing apartment 2A, 2B, 2C,
like, I'm
2B.
good. I'm good.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gonna get this. You gonna get this menagerie. You gonna get all this Cabal. Oh, by the way, they back. Here come they gonna try. We ain't like that you try to stop us in D2 at the beginning of the story. So now we gonna mess with the Sundial. Now, oh, you know what? We didn't like that. So now the Cabal gonna mess with the Almighty. Like the Cabal, enough, enough Cabal. We get it. You don't like the Guardians. We got it. Let's move on.
The Menagerie isn't Cabal, but it's related to him because it's
related to it's Callus. It's Cabal ship. Come on, Crystal. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Don't get me wrong though. Menagerie fire. Like that's the
Menagerie
I don't
like
mind that.
broke the game. Honestly,
Yeah.
Menagerie. The Menagerie, like the precedent that set.
Yeah.
It broke like everybody. Like it was a lot of fun. Then you had the multiple rewards, and then started just stripping stuff away. And then we went from that to Vex Offensive.
Yeah.
Sundial got a little bit better. This season is like since then, man. It was like Drifter to Menagerie and Season of Opulence. Like the contrast of those 2 seasons.
Right.
For one, is obviously what a lot of us are hoping is something next season. But then the fall. But like just the contrast, we're like such a low to a high, and then it's just been kind of down since.
Kind of like, yeah. And I will say this about the race. You know what I feel? I feel like, I guess lore-wise, again, Bife knows best. You know, we said how the houses are scattered and whatever.
Oh, for Fallen?
Yeah, for Fallen. I feel like they need a big bad. Like, Fallen needs like a new big bad to come in and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody of the other races got a lot of big, especially the Hive. Like, the Hive are the king of, we are scared of them. They got stuff cooking. We got Savathun. We still got things to deal with them, right? But it's like, I feel like the Fallen, besides, because even Scourge of the Past, you know, that raid, you know, the boss, you know, the Metal Gear boss, you know, I just don't feel like I've really connected with their, even one of my favorite raids, which is Wrath of the Machine. Axis didn't have a personality to, he was dope, but he wasn't built up. You're like, he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was
the story build, right?
Yeah, the Fallen have Fallen separate. Like, they need like a true Oryxy guy that's like, look, I'm gonna bring these houses together.
But they really don't. Like, they're not going, they're all separated, these little houses. They're like the, I mean, they're the scavengers of the universe. They're not powerful like the Cabal, the war enemies. They're trying to survive. But they're scattered.
Almost, you're right. I just feel like they almost need a Dominus Gaul arc, in the sense of Dominus Gaul wants to know why we were chosen, right? The Fallen had the light before us, right? And they got rejected now by the Traveler for whatever reason, right? So I feel like they need a Dominus Gaul to be like, why did you choose? You know what I'm saying? Like, they need
you can't repeat the same story, though. Like, honestly, the better, like, what I see with the Fallen, potentially, as I think, Bife, like, if Mithrax comes in and somehow plays in for them to be an ally.
Right.
So, like, if that happens and us, like, either joining forces, they're fighting with us, we're out there on, like, patrol missions or something like that, and they're, like, they're the guards in front of the tower or the city. Like, if there's a point where potentially Callus is, like, playing games with us, he may be an ally-ish. We'll see. I don't know. Of course, people probably know that deeper. But, like, potentially Fallen would be one of those, especially on our scale. They don't have, like, the big towering crazy Vex, like, you know, history longer than us. Like, the Fallen are more on our level. So it's like for us to work with them at some point, if there can be this, like, somewhat, you know, glue between.
Hold on, though. Crystal's on it, though. A new friend has arrived. Varix would be awesome. What? Judgment. Who would want to hear that Prisoner of the Voice in a raid?
I think he's too much of a coward.
Who would hear a
Varix
like raid? You would love that. You would love it. Judgment. A new friend has arrived. What? I love me some Varix, man. Just to hear his voice in Prison of Elders, oh, I can listen to that all day. That would be kind of fire.
Is that your ASMR?
I'm going for it. Listen, man. Yeah, he's got some stories, man. Yeah, man. He said, "What did Destiny just post on Twitter?" Uh-oh. E-Part says something. Should we check Twitter?
Yeah, hold on.
Did they do something? Do we have some more to talk about?
Oh, hold on. There's an audio clip, it looks like.
Uh-oh. We got audio. Destiny game. Let's see.
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna try it myself too. Excuse me. This is live, y'all. Live broadcasting. We get this. 2 minutes. Yeah, they just posted something. It's going crazy. Can you hear it?
Can you not talk?
Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm listening.
Don't talk. Is that hard?
Bro, that was nothing. I'm sorry that I'm mad that I'm talking. There was nothing to hear.
I was like, can you not talk for 1 minute and 13 seconds? That's all I'm asking.
Bro, it was so low. There's nothing to hear. Like, I was just like, am I missing? I thought something was wrong with my audio. I'm like, can he hear something that I'm not hearing? Because I just heard.
That's all it is. I was waiting to see if something happened. It's just like kind of slow, faint, like little mechanical noises and clicking. And it's kind of just like kind of like almost.
This is where we at right now, y'all.
Prescott just put it in Twitter if you guys are or just put the link in there, guys, if you want to know.
All right, yeah. Shout out to WD. All right, listen. This is
They said watch their damn. They said watch their damn Twitter, so they apparently meant it.
Bruh, that was not.
What the hell is that?
What was that? No. That was. I mean, what was that?
Again, like this is okay. So perfect timing, Bungie. Thanks for dropping a bomb for us at 8:57 in the morning.
Salute.
So we got it this week at Bungie. Yeah, speaking of ASMR.
Mm-hmm.
Audio look. Oh, somebody's like the audio. Does it look like a pyramid?
Pyramid shape.
Yeah, the pyramid shape in the like audio graph, but it's a pyramid image in there.
Okay.
No, are you looking at it right now?
But I didn't see an image. I just heard audio weapon.
Do you see, like, okay, so it's a video.
Okay.
And it shows like what would be like kind of an audio, like linear bar graph of what it looks like. But there's a big kind of angular looking triangle in the middle of that thing.
I had no image on my screen. I literally had a black screen with just audio and creepy sound. That's all I had.
So there's a little image in the background. So try and go back to it or refresh it or something like that.
All right, maybe. Oh, I got to blow it up. Okay, and it's pyramids. So pyramids are coming. It's the eerie pyramids. Here they are. Okay, I get what they're trying to do. Nah, man. Nah, that's not it. It's too. This is the fake deepness that I'm talking about right now. This is not it. This is not it, man. I shouldn't tune into Twitter. Why isn't this in the game? No. I can't. I can't give him a pass for this.
Someone on Twitter. By the way, this is a weird podcast this morning. By the way, because
sorry for you guys that don't know.
Yeah,
what
we don't normally see like Destiny things live at Friday morning. Somebody was like, "Sounds like it's time to go run Garden of Salvation, see if anything's changed." Paul Tassie's like, "I doubt it, but yeah, you go do that. Somebody go do that for me. Let me know."
Lore bits outside the game. Oh boy, how I thought we were through with this in D1.
And then, oh, come on, they do their augmented reality games and crap like in the real world. So, but yeah, Parasito1234 says it's the audio file from the end of Garden of Salvation with the statue. That's what somebody's saying, potentially.
This is what I call fake deepness. This is the epitome of fake deepness, of overthinking stuff that, oh, this is not it. This season got to end. This season got to end. This is the type of content I don't want to see. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah, man. Prescott, I'm with you, brother. Like, dramatic, this is not something. This is, I don't know if he was referencing this dramatic. If I'm coming at you, I ain't mean to come at you if you're not referencing it. But man, what can I say? This season cannot be over fast enough.
Yeah, okay, so this week at Bungie dropped, and Deej wrote it. So what I want to do is read this to you guys, and then we're going to talk, because I've seen opinions, thoughts of what this could imply, and I don't have a better way to phrase this stuff, because Deej is the master of saying words and yet telling you nothing. And I mean that respectfully, because if he's in a PR state and people are like, what about this? He's like, well, let me tell you these 20 things that don't answer your question. He's awesome at that, which is amazing to watch. But he took over the TWAB this week, and he said, this week at Bungie, we look to the sky. Ever since the season began, the Almighty has been hurling through space on its collision course with Earth, which we forgot about, most of us, until it got reminded. The Cabal are not known for their graceful defeats. Every day we spend preparing our long-lost Seraph to mount a response that derelict destroyer rockets ever closer to our home, spelling certain doom for the city. Rasputin is at full power, which I have a question about that we'll come back to first. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Again, you think you guys know where I'm going. Now eclipsing our own sun is a stark reminder that a great threat approaches. Eyes up. Okay, we'll do this in pieces. Rasputin is at full power. We're as ready as ever be. Why has it not been blasted out of the sky? Why have we not fired on that ship yet? Why have we not fired?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's my first question.
Valid.
Somebody's like, is it a butt dial from the pyramid?
The pyramid butt dialed us. Yes. We was. Oh my God.
Anyway, but like that. The line that it says he's at full power. We did the 9 million. We did the Fellwinter thing. He's ready. I can see it. That means we have satellites. We shot up from Earth. We shot up from the moon. By the way, this is another weird question. The Earth and the moon. Yes. Okay. Why was the other planet not Mars? Because that's the one that's closest to Earth that would help with like triangulation and satellites and firing, as opposed to Io, which is so much farther away. Past the asteroid belt, by Jupiter, yet we shoot our satellites up from there. Why so far away? Because it's coming from Mercury. It's coming from the other direction. I am like the astronomy part of my head, which I'm not an astronomer, but still, just my space knowledge is like breaking. Anyways, gotta continue.
Yeah, I'll continue.
What's next? Question mark. Destiny has been a shared pastime for long enough now to have established some strong traditions. Each year we spend in service of the Guardians. We can mark our calendars by the next development milestones we'll reach, or the next event will attend to spread the news. Some of us have had the remarkable privilege to travel to the world and meet some of you fine people to talk about what comes next. This year finds us all in a scenario that puts us all very far away from business as usual. Basically, all flights originating from the tower are grounded. Development of Destiny 2 continues, only we're working from the safety of our homes. We have exciting news to share with you about our plans, but it won't happen at some fancy convention under hot lights. Instead, we'll use the internet. If you are familiar with the rituals and cycles that mark a year in the life of a Guardian, you must be curious as to when we'll begin a conversation about what is next. We can't put a date on that just yet, but we will very soon. That's a promise. We know you're hungry for the news, and we're just as eager to deliver it. Keep your eyes trained on Bungie's Twitter for updates. Obviously, this morning, prime freaking example. Whatever it means, nobody knows, but we're trained on it now. We'll stream our announcements in the usual places. You'll learn about the new season of Destiny 2 at the same time that we'll talk about the next chapter in this story that has been unfolding all year long. And I want to read that again because that's an important line. You'll learn about the next season of Destiny 2 at the same time that we talk about the next chapter in this story that has been unfolding all year long. Final piece, deep diving. Now, it's Justin Truman, one of the production directors. He said, in recent editions of This Week at Bungie, cue from directors in the community on what we should talk about. Our attention has been focused on your feedback. Our words are pointed towards what we plan to do to bring the game into alignment with what you've been talking about. They do a recap of the things that they've mentioned in previous TWABs, like 423, security, cheaters, what we're doing about them. 430, seasons in year 4, reducing FOMO, improving bounties. 5.7, rewards, the Eververse transmog. 5.14, max levels, or max power level, season 7, redacted engram. Reload perks in the ever-confusing world loot pool. All of that has been covered in the previous, 5 weeks. We covered a lot of ground, and while we are going to continue to provide updates each week to topics you care about, we want to shift our focus in the coming weeks. Yes. We've said a lot about changes coming in year 4, but we haven't talked about how year 4 begins. Yeah. Very soon, we'll do just that. I kicked off this series of deep dives with some promises, but I want to end the series on a more personal note. Being unable to go to the office, trying to figure out how to keep building the game we love from our laptops and our couches has me thinking a lot about commitment. Video game development is messy. Evolving Destiny 2 in an open, transparent way involves showing and shipping plenty of missteps along with the improvements. But it continues to be worth it, every step of this way, because I can honestly say this is the most welcoming, passionate community that I have ever encountered in any game, which we continue to talk about. And the final important lines coming up. We're committed to this game, to staying transparent about our plans, and to this relationship we have with our community. The reason we started on this journey 10 years ago haven't changed. We're committed to building a world anyone can be a part of, where everyone can feel powerful, and where you might reconnect with old friends and make some new ones. So we look forward to continuing this conversation and continuing to evolve Destiny together. And in 12 days, we can't wait to show you more of what we've been working on. Stay safe out there, Guardians. And the rest is just patch notes and Twitch Prime and all that stuff. So that's the big old cryptic TWAB of all TWABs.
Yes, very, very cryptic.
All right, I talked for a while. You go.
Yeah, listen, you know, when I got this one, you know, obviously me and you know, messaged offline, just say, what was our feeling, right? What were we feeling when we read this? And, you know, to me, this is what I gathered out of it. The first word that came to my mind was cryptic, right? We are kind of talking about what's going on in the world. We're talking about how that's affected the studio, all valid. We're talking about all the things that we've told you with these kind of mini director cuts and Destiny team guys on each level of the game. Great stuff, great, for the most part, transparency stuff, minus the world loot pool. I think it's the only one we had a little question, like, okay, this one didn't make sense a little bit. We need more clarity. But for the most part, all this has been great. And like you said, as we started the show, E, we are in a cadence. This is a tradition for us, right? The 2 weeks before the season ends, there is a cadence that we are, as Destiny fans, we are used to, right? The first week is either, hey, tune into the stream, tune into the whatever, we're going to talk about this. Or, hey, tune in next week because this game-changing event is going to happen and lead us into boom, and we're going to talk about it. So there's no hard and fast date. There's no hard and fast date as to when season of the whatever it is that's going to be better than the Worthy. I'm going to give that. I'm going to put that out there. Whatever it is, it's going to be better than the Worthy. That bar's that high, but it's going to be better. That's what I'm rolling with. You know what I'm saying? So to me, you know, we all know the pyramids are coming. We don't know how soon. We figure this is the precursor to September, which Luke Smith affectionately says we are not prepared. So ultimately, you know, it's got to be at least at minimum an appetizer, right? So when I read this, and shout out, what's homeboy's name? Is this Justin? Justin Truman? Justin Truman, you know, when I read this from Justin, the vibe I get, I'm gonna bring it back to you because I got a question. The vibe I got is that this is a fluid situation. I don't get the sense of the typical hard and fast date. This is when it's happened. It's like, hey, we're going to tell you soon. We're on the cusp soon. Now, again, I don't know, in their defense, I'm not trying to rip them. This could be, you know, got the pandemic, right? This could be the pandemic situation being fluid. They can't go into the office and stuff like that. And instead of saying, hey, let's not, maybe this is them saying to themselves, hey, let's not promise them that it's going to be that Tuesday that we normally would say, and give us some rope, give us some leeway, just in case we need a little bit more development time. And let's be real, they've had a lot of bugs, they've had a lot of issues. The Quest thing got pushed back. Maybe some things internally, I could be looking too more deep into this, but maybe some things internally that they don't want to tell us just yet is saying, hey, we may not give ourselves a little bit of wiggle.
My only counter to that is they literally say in 12 days we can't show you what we've been working on. So I don't feel like the season timing is going to change.
I get that, but it's just way too cryptic.
It's cryptic for different reasons for me.
This is like an unusual level of non-transparency before a DLC. And again, it could be me. I could be looking into this way deeper. I don't know. Just usually we even get the name. Usually they'll be like, yo, and we'll talk about it. We're like, oh, this one is called Season of Opulence. Like, oh, okay. And then we be theorizing. At least they give us the name. They ain't giving us nothing. So it is it's interesting. And the last point I will say is this. I got a question for you. Remember how they said that the way they develop season and content is 2 at a time, right? Where is Worthy is Worthy number 2 in relationship to season of?
It's probably been in the works for a while. Yeah.
Okay, so is it Worthy and then this next season coming up that we worked on together, or was it Worthy and the season prior? I never
would say like it's probably specific that they do 2 at a time. I would say they're probably working. I think they're working 2 in advance. Like they're probably working on Worthy, like being 3 months away. They were working on that during potentially 6 months out. And I think they always had a potentially, so they were covering 2 months of content. So they had that skip. It's not like these 2 are developed in succession and then there's a hard and fast line. It's the next one. Okay. It was my understanding. It was like, while 9 and 10 are being worked on. And then as 9 finished, like, there's that progression is like as 9 is out, 10 and 11 are being worked on. And then 10 comes out, 11 and 12 are being worked on. So it's like that progression is always like they're working at the same time as that runs. So when what they learned from 9, they couldn't implement until say 6 months down the road. That was the way I interpreted that.
Okay, no, I think you may be right. And again, I'm just trying to, this could be Cognito overanalyzing, but it just was very cryptic to me. And the last point I want to make, and I never got a chance to talk to you about this, and actually I haven't even talked about it on High Law Podcast, and I'm dying to, which is they spoke to Phil Spencer recently just about how the pandemic affects development, right? You know what blew my mind, E? That you can get most stuff done from home, right? Yep. But if you're making a new game or new content, the hardest thing they said is mocap and music orchestra, because all those things require you to be in. Mocap requires the dots and all of that to come in. You know what I'm saying? Orchestra require you. It's almost, I wouldn't say impossible, but each individual thing has to be synced and cut, and you know what I'm saying, and then merged into it. There's a lot of components to it. So I actually am concerned for development in the future. I don't know how far ahead they were before the pandemic and how prepared they were. I don't know what maybe this affects D3. Maybe this doesn't affect, D3, but the later season of D2, you know what I'm saying? Like 2021's version of Destiny D2, maybe it affects that. But I'm very curious because we even saw, shout out to Lance, remember we saw Lance Reddick in the closet with the mock setup. Like they're having to get creative. So what basically what I'm trying to say is this. I'm actually giving them benefit of the doubt. We don't know how much development has really affected them because some studios in gaming are prepared and were prepared and had the tools, maybe things are already in place and done. And then other studios may be scrambling. And I'm hearing expect a lot of delays. Now, I'm not talking about in terms of Bungie. I'm just talking about in terms of the games industry as a whole.
Oh, I expect a lot of things.
Especially these new games that's in development, bro. You need mocap. You need to come in. You need orchestra. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff can't be done. So we're in a very weird time, and I think the vibe I got from Justin was he didn't say like it wasn't coming out. You're right. We said 12 days, but he stressed video game development being messy. You know, he said, hey, we're working from home. You know, the laptops. He's telling us as a studio the things they're having to endure. So we have to pay attention to those little tea leaves, I feel. But I'm done ranting. I just wanted to know what your feeling is. What did you get out of it in general?
Cryptic word. I was like, it was on the tip of my tongue for a while, and then I finally was like, put a finger on the word. I was like, yeah, that's the right way for me to phrase it. I mean, I said it earlier in the podcast. I was like, typical cadence is like you had Season of the Undying. 3 weeks before the Undying Mind is here, then we got to kill him for a while and do that type of stuff. Okay, so we kill him enough, of course, you know, just they say, hey, you killed enough millions of copies. We've completely killed it on all timelines. We did our thing. Right. And that prompted the next season. But we got the final activity, and then they, like, you know, did the little shoestring bow tie and barely put the seasons together.
Right.
Go into Season of Dawn. Okay, so you have, like, your cinematic on Season of Dawn. We have Saint 14 come in. We have Osiris in the Sundial doing his thing, trying to protect the Sundial. And then we get the Heroic because we have Inotam, and he's, like, this kind of cooler version. We have that stuff going on. We have the end of the season cinematic, which I can't remember. When did that one with Osiris drop?
Ooh, that was like around this cadence. It was almost like a 2 week before
because it wasn't like
end of season.
Last day or something.
It wasn't last day. It was like a 2 week end of season. That's why we were like, yo, we figured we were gonna get something this week with Almighty and stuff. Because is this week like how many more weeks after? It's because it's not next week.
We have 12 days, so we have a week. Tuesday is the final week.
Yeah, so this week I thought for sure we may get something. Shout out to Aries. He said did you get the Xbox article he sent you? Did you get some Xbox article he sent you?
Yep, I did. I looked through it. So he's talking about
what it was a reference to?
Yeah, he's talking about the 60 frames and how they're like upscaling.
As far as the advancements with Bungie, as far as that's
just the way for backwards compatibility of just like how it's just going to be able to take your games like up a notch.
Oh yeah. That's
all
amazing.
That stuff, the compatibility journey and everything like that. Like there
with
are so many things going on between of what the SSDs can do and what the new technology is going to do, and just like it's like. And the quote here is like, we're able to create whole new classes of innovations, including the ability to double the frame rate of a select set of titles from 30 to 60 or 60 to 120. Literally, if you're just like, frame rate, double. I mean, it's not as easy as snapping my fingers, obviously, that's stupid. Right. But the fact that they can take games that typically run at said frame rate, this is the resolution, this is what they're built on, now they have the power to be like, we can do that exact same thing, just run it at 60 frames. If they're able to just find that switch in that power to be like, here you go.
It seems with Xbox, bro, like that article that Aries is talking about, that was super impressive. They're talking about any games without any boost mode or whatever, and you're getting 60 to 120 frames. That gave me full confidence in Destiny on console in the fall when it comes out. But back to your point with the whole with the TWAB.
Oh yeah, NVMe storage is going to be glorious.
Ooh, beautiful.
So obviously it says keep your eyes trained on Bungie for updates. Prime example, live in the middle of the damn podcast, so that's fun. We'll stream our announcements in our usual places. You'll learn about, so for me, before all this stuff went down in the last like 24 hours, theory, Tuesday was potentially going to be Almighty. And the reason I wanted the Almighty to be on Tuesday is because what I had figured is Tuesday the 2nd was going to be a teaser. Wednesday the 3rd would be the trailer.
Right.
That's all about the redacted. And I went back with the stream and we went to watch one of the old Moon Vidocs. You're good. Went back and got one of the Moon Vidocs and literally listened to that. And they talked about the difference between multiple seasons, like season 9, things will start going. Season 10, it's building. And season 10 is going to be like something we've never done before. So if season 11 is something they've never done before, we're at a point where if they're going to make something that big and grand of a promise back in September, they had this planned. So then I'm like, okay, so if it's big and grand, they want to tell us about it. So I was like, if the season 11 trailer was going to be on Tuesday, Wednesday, that time frame, and Almighty somehow happens on the same day, I was like, the cool part of the Almighty cinematic is going to get to live for like an hour before they turn around and like, hey, here comes the teaser, here's the trailer, and the Almighty's forgotten. And I'm like, that would just put the literal nail in the coffin of the season that has already been questionable in the first place. I was like, so I wanted time for the Almighty to breathe. That's obviously not happening because it's parked out there for whatever reason. So, okay, so then I was like, all right, so maybe next week everything does happen. All together, we get the Almighty, we get the teaser, we get the trailer. Maybe that's what happens. And then you'll learn about the next season of Destiny 2 at the same time we talk about the next chapter in the story that has been unfolding all year long. So they talk about the next season and the next story, but it seems to be with the pyramid ships on the light bright wall and all that stuff, that whatever is going to be happening, they can't tell us because it's going to tie into the fall as well, that's my guess. What I was just about to
say, that's literally what I was about to say. I think that's what's going on here. And I think, you know who said it, but I think W.D. Prescott said it earlier. It almost feels like the Almighty was really just a distraction for what they really want to do. And to your point, there isn't the proper time payoff for Almighty to really get its just due. It's going to be, the vibe we're getting is bam, bam, Almighty's done, and then this thing is happening.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it's going to do.
Yeah, that's where it seems, and it's just, again, based on what we're used to, it's a little different, you know what I'm saying, how they handle it. Now, I will say this, if they handle that, you know, pretty in a cool fashion, I'm not going to say all is forgiven for season 1 because it's not, but it would be a nice lead up. They got to do it right? And I think that's just been the worry this season with Season Unworthy. It's just things have not executed right on many levels. I think that's been the theme of Season Unworthy is execution, not lack of execution, just not hitting things and getting the feel right with this particular one. So listen, I'm hoping they at least put a nice little bow at the end of this, because it's just been a horrible season. I mean, there's just no sugarcoating it. This is just where we are. Now, I want to see the transition. You know, does this thing blow up? Do we get our debris? Do we, you know what I'm saying?
That's what ties into. Yeah. And again, Tassie had a good article, and it's what you could dream and hope for. But I don't expect it in a season level thing. Yeah,
expectations very low.
Now, there's the leaked footage out there of a damaged tower. The place behind Eververse, there's apparently this a piece that crashed. So potentially whatever happens with the Almighty, maybe some of it does come crashing down and a piece clips the tower or something like that. Now, what I would love to see, not going to happen. It's a season, I understand it, unless it's something they've never done before and they blow my skirt up. But I would love if somehow they explode the Almighty and then the new map for the European Dead Zone or whatever has a chunk of the Wing Almighty across the zone here, and there's debris in the actual game from this giant ship. And then somebody, I think in my Twitch chat said yesterday, well, then the Fallen's trying to get on the Almighty ship and trying to steal technology, and we're fighting with them. And then maybe Siva and stuff. But I would love to see them actually start to change the world. Because I honestly, mainly in saying that, it's been 3 years of the same European Dead Zone. They need to mix some of these areas up. You are muted, by the way.
Oh, man. Yeah,
just letting you know.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I mean, shout out to who's in the chat. I just think it's wishful thinking.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. It's believe me, that the scale of seasons, it's a $10 season. I'm not setting my expectations that high. I wish that stuff would happen. I don't expect it at all.
I feel you. You got the right mindset. I have so little faith in Season Unworthy. I am so done with this season. It just needs to be. It's a nightmare that needs to be over, man. I'm done.
I'm the same way. It's it cannot get here soon enough because it's killing me that we have to wait. Now, my other theory of this entire thing, nothing happens on Tuesday. Now this takes this takes them doing it perfect. And this is, again, I don't even know how they could orchestrate the timing of all this stuff. So this is dumb, crazy theory of Ebontis right now. So here we go.
Here we go.
Tuesday, nothing, but the ship does get bigger out there. So they're showing like progression of the Almighty. Somehow on the 9th, this would be like the dream setting, by the way. So not holding breath.
Go for it.
If you're standing in the tower,
here we go.
you get to see the skybox with like an explosion of the Almighty getting blown away. If you're in the tower on like June 9th at like, try like 9 a.m. or something, enough time for them to shut down the servers. If that happens, it explodes, lights kind of flare, you get kicked out of the game, they close the servers down, and that's when they go live with their Twitch stream explaining next season.
You asking a lot.
I know. And again, this is like beyond dream setting of earlier of them like actually changing up the EDZ.
Context.
So, but yeah, they kick everybody out because they got to do a patch. Then they're like, hey, catch us live in like 15 minutes. We're going to be live talking about the next season and the fall and all of that type of stuff. Now, that takes a hell of a timing, execution, servers, hit the switch, go live on, like all that stuff happening at the same time. Seems crazy.
Vagabondo says, stop staring at the sun. I am dead. But see what they got my man doing? This is what Season the Worthy got my man doing right now, man. Look how creative he is. He's just coming up. He's cooking up the great ideas right now.
So the main reason I'm wondering is, for one, they say we'll talk about the next chapter, which could just be the story narrative, but also the season. So they could just be talking about season 11. But as we talk about season 11, they keep mentioning year 4. They're like, we haven't told you how year 4 begins. We're going to do that soon.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, does season 11 like spoil year 4? Is season 11 have enough? Because it's going to connect potentially.
Yeah.
So does that spoil what's coming? And this is like the season 11 reveal is also the year 4 like initial information push. Like, do you think those could be that connected, or is it season 9 they do the season thing, or June 9th they do whatever the season thing, or maybe the week before, either way, and then maybe a week or two later, once we've seen the season, hey, this is the fall expansion. Sometime in June, we're getting the fall expansion. My question is it June 9th, which is even still a little late for them usually, versus like E3 would have been this coming
next week. Yeah, because I've been flying. I was technically flying out to E3 next week. Yeah, that's when I was.
So if they were going to do an E3 push, it was like first week of June.
Right.
The season launches in the second week of June already, so it's a little later than before. If you get later in June and stuff, things start to more and more stuff. Like, it feels like it would be this coming week, and they state, and in 12, and the only date they give in 12 days, we can't wait to show you more of what we've been working on. It's like, if we don't see anything for 12 days, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Obviously, actually, I'm pretty sure I already have by all the comments in chat. But
I think I'm putting it together now. I think I got it. This is E3 time, right? So I think the issue here with the crypticness, I just got it. It's literally, remember, they have already been revealed to be on Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
They are part of that. The only reason they were there, and I believe they did that with Shadowkeep. So I love my man. Shout out to E. He's adorable. I know. What I was gonna say, the thing is, he's so creative. But the thing is, like, they always use that to be a precursor. That's their. Remember, the most eyes are on you. You want to hype up that next thing that's coming. So I think that's the stage where we're really gonna get. I think we may get a double dose as far as this week. The week coming, finish off in game Almighty. Right, we finish that off, finish the season. We get into whatever this season is. That probably will be a precursor. And then June, what is it, the 12th or whatever that date is, they're going to be there. We're going to get a big chunk. And I think they're going to do, I'm putting it together now. I think this is the Cognito prediction, tenfold. Got my CB Gray on.
Your turn.
Yeah, I got my CB Gray on. All right, so what I think is, remember how Shadowkeep, we got the content drop, but we got the big announcement cross save. Remember? That was huge at the time. That blew the, and we got free to play, right? It was like boom, boom, explosion, Shadow Keep, here we go. What I think we get is something similar in the sense of, you know, hype, whatever the new name of the expansion is, cinematic trailer of whatever we're not prepared for, and then boom, next generation consoles guaranteed, you know, 60 frames. Because remember, next gen is coming. All the new systems have to start, for the most part, PlayStation 5, all these guys got to start revealing now. This June is the month for next gen consoles to get hyped.
Sony's better do their crap like next week, I swear.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I've heard. Shout out to Jason Schreier, who we've had.
Oh, I
on
know.
our
Everybody
podcast.
thinks like, what is it? The third Wednesday?
The third. Yeah, it's on. So that's remember next week. PlayStation's gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? The week after.
Maybe.
This is well, maybe. I think they're talking. This is the next gen cadence. Now, ISIs don't get gas. I feel you on crossplay. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would love for it to happen. I don't know if we're there yet. I think, here's the thing. Remember, Xbox just announced backward compatibility, everything boosting up with back compat. I think for the most part, we're going to get that 60. And they're going to talk about how much Destiny will improve on the consoles and the things they're doing. And that's going to be this whole mass media marketing push. And that's what we get. And I think that's the crypticness.
During Summer of Games, I still think they're going to do their Twitch stream because Bungie still does those every time.
Yeah, they'll do that. They'll do that.
So there's going to be some of their own stream. But yeah, the Summer of Game Fest will be those type of like system-wide announcements, 60 frames for D2 in the fall, that type of stuff. But they will reveal it on their own Twitch streams because they absolutely crush those things. So that will come first.
But remember,
their hour-long stream reveal.
Luke, and not to cut you, Luke and them, you're right. They did do their Twitch stream. You're absolutely right. Remember, Luke and them then went on Jeff's stage last year and was like, yo, Destiny is free to play. Destiny has cross save. Those are huge announcements on the E3 level. So I think you're right. Twitch is where they reveal the content, right? Yeah. You may get a, you may get a trailer, all that stuff. But I think whatever system-wise or back-end-wise for the next gen, we're going to get on that Jeff Keighley stage. They've got that relationship, bro. They've got that. I think they continue that, so we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be, I think we'll get a nice answer to a lot of this cryptic trout stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't say anything. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish.
No, that's it. No,
I was going to say, so, wagers. Do you give me a date for...
Oh.
Give me a date for Almighty and give me a date for next season trailer. Not teaser, trailer.
Now, when you say Almighty, you mean Almighty?
When does the Almighty get blown out of the sky? That's the first one.
I think that's June 2nd. I think that's Tuesday.
Okay.
Right.
And then June 31st is not a day, by the way. Thanks.
Sorry.
Appreciate that, Vagabondo. No, not you. I'm giving Vagabondo crap. He did that on purpose.
Oh, June 31st. June 31st. Oh, yeah, I just see this message. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're June 2nd, Almighty, trailer date for Season of the Redacted.
Yeah. I think trailer date for Season of the Redacted. Man, June 2nd, they blow it up. Because June 9th has got to be the season, right? We've already...
the season ends in-game. The season still shows... Like, we have 11 days left to play.
Right.
So that is June 9th.
Yeah. Right. So June 9th. Okay. That's the new season. They've got to do the trailer. I'm going to say Thursday on that TWAB day. I'm going to say the 4th. I'm going to say June 4th. I'm looking at the calendar right now. Because, that would be perfect. Because PlayStation announces their thing. We're going to get a whole bunch of next generation of game announced. I'm going with the 4th, man. I'm going with the 2nd is the blow up. End the season kind of abrupt with the Almighty, but we get it done. 4th, we start getting what the hell the new stuff is about. And then the 9th, we just go right on into that bad boy. That's what I'm rolling with.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with. Where you at?
Dano's like blown out of the skies and taken out. That thing's the size of the planet. See, that's why I would love to see that thing crash into the European dead zone. I mean, it's massive. It's like
your heart's in
Armageddon.
the
You
right
blow
place.
up the asteroid. Now it's just two smaller asteroids. It's still freaking huge. Like, so
Ironside's no more exclusives, Dave. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think I will say this though. This is where I think you are onto something. Somebody's gonna get the marketing deal. That's different. That we gotta pay it to, and I already got my money on who that gonna be.
well, of course, I know where you lean, and I know why.
Yeah, listen, Phil Spencer and Pete Parsons love doing streams together now. They love being on camera together. Destiny was, if you have the xCloud service, Destiny is free on the xCloud service right now. That Phil Spencer, I told y'all, Destiny's one of his favorite games. They're not gonna have exclusive content. Bungie's not in the business of locking out exotic. That was Activision stuff. They're not taking those deals anymore. But marketing is different. That just says who gets to show it on the stage, right, so to speak. And I could see it. I could see. You know, if you know, maybe they debut one of a new trailer. You know, and listen, we can't say shout out to Dano. We can't act like Bungie don't need that money. You know what I'm saying? We can't act like you see the Eververse store these days. You can't act like
it's about to get better.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I could see a scenario, you know. But yeah, that's my good question, Ironsides. I think it will be interesting to see how. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe they don't show up on anybody's stage and they just show up on their own stage like they did last year, as far as their own Twitch stream, and then just give you announcements. But I would think marketing deal, you know, makes sense for them. You know, just allow people to. I
think they're too cross. And I'm not, trust me, I'm not disregarding the Phil Spencer and Pete Parsons relationship.
Right.
But I still think they are play anywhere. So if you go marketing campaign on any specific platform, I think I would be surprised if they pushed it that way. And I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I don't think they will.
We forgot something that we're overlooking something from last year. That was huge.
Stadia?
Yes, they had a Stadia marketing deal. Yeah. That was a marketing deal, bro. Like I said, it wasn't exclusive, but they, you know, so again, it is interesting. It is interesting how they will present.
That was a lot of money.
Oh, that's my ILO podcast love right there. Who said the Book of X? That's ILP right there. Yeah, man, listen, I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised. A marketing deal makes sense, but you know, again, that they have to be up for it. But they did have one with Stadia as far as streaming. You know, it's gonna be the next is gonna be fun. Now I'm excited. I went from being all down to like I am super pumped now. I completely forgot. We are in E3 territory now. This would have been the last week I would have been with you. Yeah. And then I'd be like, damn, E, I ain't gonna be able to do the last word next week because I'll be out there in LA. And then, you know, obviously the pandemic. And then, you know, I would be getting them news. I'd be on the show.
I would have been doing a solo last word when they dropped the trailer. Being like, dude, we's not here. So we gotta cover this stuff.
I know. It's gonna be fun, y'all. Strap in. I went from mad low. Now I'm super hyped right now. Now I'm like, you have no idea. You just excited me. It's on. It's on now, man.
So I have to play counter for one, just to hope for something cool. I'm for the world changing on the 9th. Ooh. Crazy day. Now, I will say if it's on your side, I think Prescott had it pretty accurately. If I'm wrong, I think the trailer's on Wednesday because that gives people to discuss for 24 hours, and then there's the TWAB. And then they do the season of the redacted like web page will come up later that day, and then the TWAB still the discussion. They break down some other stuff there. Get a calendar. All that stuff's like broken that Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. So if that's the case, Tuesday it blows up. Tuesday teaser for like 10 seconds. Wednesday trailer. Thursday crazy TWAB.
Right.
Podcast on Friday should be glorious.
Oh, so yeah, next week.
So if that happens all like that, yeah, Friday will be like a 3-hour podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're breaking a barrier.
I don't know if should get a calendar this season. That's actually a fair point. Do you want a calendar?
Yeah, I would like. We would like a roadmap. We enjoy those. We like when you do the nice little cute pictures and the dates. We like that. I mean, but in their defense, this is a pandemic world now. You know, I have to be respectful of deadlines and things of that nature. But I'm so curious, man. I wish we had someone behind the scenes in terms of development, because I am very curious how they do their cinematics. Is that all computer generated? Like when Zavala and Anna Bray, you know, were talking, is that
some of that? I mean, you've seen
I feel it's
Morla Gorndona do mocap. I've seen her do mocap.
Who's that? That's our Eris chick?
Eris, yeah.
She's done you've seen her do mocap for...
I think she did mocap for Shadowkeep. It looked like she's like, we're all insufferable or whatever, and it looks like she's looking around. Now maybe that's just like for that scene. Oh. I think the in-game stuff, like the Zavala pieces, those are just like CGI. They render them and they put his voice over the top. Like that I picture as that way, but I think hers at least had something for that. But I don't know. Again, I think they could do it without. Just the mocap gives it a little more natural animation to it. Yeah, because like her performance is like crazy.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Shout out to Dan. We need more Cora. Yeah, Cora, she's going back in the bushes. There's nothing going on with my Warlock, man. She needs something. I agree. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, it's probably maybe a mix. You know, I feel like the season.
I don't picture Lance Reddick doing mocap. They've never showed as much as I see him being his social media presence.
Right.
And then I feel like we would have seen him potentially like, and he doesn't ever have any like crazy scenes or anything. He's just usually walk around, talk, like the character itself isn't doing anything crazy.
So they could get away with it. I agree. So we've confirmed that he's doing new voiceover work for Destiny. We've already confirmed. So clearly, yeah, it might be what you call it. It might, but here's the thing. I think mocap might be reserved for the big expansion content.
What Prescott's saying, same thing too.
Shout out to Prescott, always say the same thing. I was like, okay, yeah. So it's like I think that's reserved for that. Whereas the season stuff is probably smaller. They can get away with cinematic stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. I'm hyped. Next week is buckle up, man. Buckle up. I transformed my whole negative energy. To like,
I was like, this whole weekend is just like me just like tapping my fingers on the desk, just like waiting for this whole season to get done. Because right now I'm just like, ship's not going to change. Zer's going to show up. By the way, Zer does have random rolls starting next season.
Right. And so, also, yeah,
June 9th, not this week or next.
Yeah. I anticipate next season being like a Warmind kind of a season, which was a prelude to Forsaken, where a lot of smaller systems get introduced and gameplay changes that are beneficial before we get those massive ones in Forsaken / season of the whatever.
We got like exotic catalysts and Warmind.
Yeah, well, I love Warmind, man. Well, Warmind introduced a lot of cool things. That's
Crystal is saying it's going to be Scorn for next season. I want to get your take. I don't see it. I don't know how that ties in. I could see Siva. I could see Fallen. I'm just not seeing where Scorn would be.
What you said? Yeah, let's guess. Who do you think will be?
Dude, I don't freaking know. Like the way, if the Rasputin tie is anything at all, because they have tried to have some connection from one to the next. So even if it's like a shoestring's worth of a tie, there's some little inkling between the two. So if that is the case, like Osiris goes to talk to Rasputin, then Rasputin's been like the thing for the season we've been working with. Okay, Rasputin had the little like Fellwinter Siva tease background. Siva's walked in.
Right.
I could see it being Siva related.
Okay.
So there's been some funny things that like fly through my Twitch chat at some points when I'm playing, and somebody was like, what if, you know, it's a shot at the Almighty that doesn't miss, or maybe the Almighty crashes, or something like that happens because instead of firing at the Almighty, Rasputin fires at the pyramid ships to like slow them down. I was like, that'd be cool. I don't see it, but I'd love to see something kind of like that. Or is it the fact that Siva is something, if we can harness it for the good, and obviously not let it go bad, but because, I mean, there's been too many. You've got the transmat effect. You've got the ornament for both a weapon and the chest. Like, Siva has been plastered all over this season, like everywhere.
They've been hinting a lot,
so maybe Siva's a way that Rasputin's like, well, hey, you know that bunker that killed my son? Go back down there. Let's see if we can get this thing harnessed up, because those pyramid ships aren't slowing down next season. They're going to be at Earth come the fall. So Siva might be our way to fight them.
I agree. I think it will be used for Guardians to weaponize against, because like you said, it's been hinted all over Eververse. I mean, Lord of Wolves now has a Siva version. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Siva-fied stuff. So yeah, they are definitely. It does feel like it will have a role, you know, coming up soon. The question comes down to, you know, whether it's going to be this season coming, or, you know, the big season of the You're Not Ready. That's the question as to when, you know, we're going to get it. But I do agree. I think Siva is definitely going to be a factor.
I mean, the other one, and Crystal saying it as well, is we went Osiris, Dawn, Warmind, Worthy. What was after Warmind? Forsaken.
Right.
So then the question is, okay, do you have the Dreaming City tie-in, or do you have the Uldren tie-in? And is Mara Sov out there? Now, that was another thing. We'd like talked myself into this little tangent. I was like, so maybe somehow we get like an Uldren tie-in. Maybe we get a Hunter Vanguard situation. And then if Uldren's actually back before the pyramid ships get here, the Queen might be on our side to face the pyramid ships. Like, again, I'm full of it, but it's like,
no, I'm with you.
That cadence still also makes sense. So is the like, how would we get to Forsaken? Uldren's the biggest.
Yeah.
Keep thinking about him.
And that's why I'm very curious. Like, I don't.
Oh, hold on. Put a pin in that. So that little, like, the cinematic of the Almighty explodes, and then Uldren takes off his helmet in the tower, and Zavala and Ikora see him, and that's where it cuts. And you're like,
hey, fire. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's the thing. And where they got to be careful, the only excuse I give them for introducing anything new is if it's darkness related, right? We have gotten to a point where there are too many introductions and nothing is finished or completed. Too many, you know, like Uldren's not finished. What you call it, Callus is not finished. There's so many unfinished bits. And it's just like, they just like to say, you know, show us something new, squirrel. And then we forget about all the other stuff. Yeah, like, bro, like, we got all these loose ends. Shout out to Mela. Yeah, we got too many loose ends. So, like, Uldren needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Now,
sorry, shout out to his in chat, and he's like, can I shoot Uldren again? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, he's a Guardian, you can shoot him again and again and again and again. And he's just like, he is the new firing range for Fallout when he's shooting weapons. Uldren is just there constantly being shot. And that's what makes Mara come back and be like, dude, stop killing my brother. What the hell?
Stop killing him. Yeah, we got to get some beats done, man. The Uldren thing, I mean, we remember how I guessed incorrectly. You know, I thought he was going to be part of this Season of the Worthy. Like, how better a Season of the Worthy would have been.
Yeah, it's like he would have been fitting in there. And so Siva, Uldren, I could see both of those in some ties. Right. If it's Uldren, they could use the Dreaming City as a tie-in to kind of see if that's a thing.
Dreaming City is kind of up on the cadence. It's
like it's time. We haven't touched Dreaming City, Pickle Shore, none of that stuff in a while. So it's like, what is that? It would be almost 2 years, basically. Yeah. Since that was like a main focus.
Right. And then we still got the curse bit. That's another part that's still
curse. Oh, the 3-week curse. Yeah, dude, I want that fixed. Yeah, I feel so sorry for the Awoken. They're just like, this sucks.
They're just tortured endlessly.
This just sucks. 3 weeks.
Purgatory, endless.
Here we go again. Yeah, what's the Grand Theft Auto? Here I go again. Or we marching in like every day, waking up, back to it. Hold on, back to the grind. Like,
yeah, man. I mean, it's so many beats that we got to get done. But yeah, the cadence is definitely time. You know, maybe that is next season. Maybe they push that up, and then. You know, we heard the rumors of Europa when it comes to darkness and stuff. You know,
I mean, new possible destination Europa has been thought about for a while. Also, potentially, you know, big leaks possible if there's any pyramid ships where we fight them. I mean, those are big rumoredly possible question marks and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I want to know. I don't have a. I'm
we
like,
know.
We're talking ourselves in circles. We could be Dreaming City, or we could be Siva. I can't quite imagine what Siva would do to the Dreaming City. Those two are like so far apart,
so separate.
Like the red angular
separate.
technical and like like just I want to say the curves, which sounds wrong, but like the like beautiful ornate nature of the Dreaming City.
Architecture of the Dreaming City.
Yeah.
Listen, let me ask y'all, what would y'all want? What chat? I need it. Like, would y'all want a Siva story? Assuming the darkness is not the next season, would you guys want a Siva story, or would you guys want a Dreaming City style story? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'll just guess. So Crystal says Siva.
Hold on, I'm gonna put a poll up there. I can do that.
Yeah, put the poll up. I'm very curious
Siva.
what people want, because obviously if hit Siva a ton, you know what I'm saying?
Siva related or Dreaming City Aldrin.
Okay. Get that
All
poll
right,
going.
3-minute vote. Get in there. Get to voting. It's up.
Yeah.
So click above the Twitch chat and you guys can vote. Because I could see both being viable and both actually have fitting ways that kind of tie in. I could see Aldrin bringing Mara back as a way to fight the pyramid ships. I could see Siva as a way for Rasputin to help us fight the pyramids. Like two different paths to fight the darkness. And again, both potentially viable, because if it's this crazy strong nanotechnology, or Marasav, who's like small planet killing powerful crazy woman. So she's
if we do Siva, I have a request. My man Saladin needs answers.
Oh, dude, he would be a perfect person to tie in.
He would be perfect.
And also pissed.
Dude.
Yeah, where's Lady, what is her name, who didn't die as well? Aphrodite. Where the hell's she been, by the way? Is she dead,
where's she at?
Is she dead, or is she just out there?
No, she running around. She running around, nothing happened to her. You know how Destiny
Man, I would like.
Yeah,
I would love to see an Iron Lord story come back again,
bro. And like, that's my
I know
namesake.
That's you. I know.
What?
But like to like have that happen, and like this is the like Siva story, and then we get the word about Feldwinter, and word of that makes it back to Saladin.
Is that true? I'm sorry to cut you. Is that true? They say that Mela says that, and Crystal is saying that Aphrodite's a pacifist now? Maybe I missed that lore.
Yeah, she's kind of, I think she ran off to kind of avoid all the fighting at this point. Maybe. Sounds kind of right.
Okay. Anyway, shout out to her though.
She helped during the Red War.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious. She just went away. Remember when she was like hosting Iron Banner for a bit? Remember that?
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, now Saladin needs, we could do a little Rise of Iron redo.
Oh man, yeah, Saladin, definitely cool. So honestly, we're pretty split. We're 43% for Siva, 57% for Dreaming City and Aldrin. So, but I mean, that's both could work is kind of what we're getting to. So
yes, I agree.
It's interesting. I mean,
oh yeah, give me that old school Iron Lord armor. Yes, I want pauldrons in my chest. I want hot fire all around me.
So okay, here's the only problem. That's going to be a reissue for the 5th time.
No, we want that one. But we want that one. Come on now. Again, we want that one. We want that one.
I know.
Yeah, we want it.
What? We won't.
Listen, man.
So this next week, come next Friday's podcast, which would be the 5th, if days are correct. June 5th podcast, we're going to hopefully have some stuff to talk about, or... we are going to be pulling our hair out waiting for stuff to talk about. If I'm right, I am honestly going to be happily surprised. I just don't see them pulling that off. As they're already tweeting something now that honestly leads me away from that. Because if they're tweeting now, that's like tweet over the weekend, kind of every day, Monday, Tuesday, stuff happens. Like if they start teasing us now and it's like 12 days away, people are going to go insane. Me first, by the way.
Let me say this, and I know we got to talk briefly. I'll talk briefly about Outriders in a bit, but you know, that's the thing Destiny does well. Like when it comes down to marketing the next content, man, you know what I'm saying? So I buckle up, man. Buckle up. There's stuff cooking. That's the cryptic nature of what's going on. Cannot wait to see which direction they take it, because man, we need some juice into this game. You know what I'm saying? Badly. And I think they're gonna also, like I said, tease us for that future content. And woo, man, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know, who got with that Phil Maximus, Phil Dominus. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what Phil got cooking. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully it's a marketing deal. But yeah, man, like I think we're gonna be in a good little spot this next month. And I think we will forget about the season that was not worthy. we will forget about this dark time.
And it was funny. Somebody was saying the Almighty. We literally we're gonna have the Almighty in our thoughts for like the first day, and maybe like when it blows up, and that's the title of the entire season. And it's like you could have had so many other things like Seraph or so many other titles that felt like they would have been more fitting. Yeah, more fitting. And Almighty is also a bit gratuitous as well. It's just like over the top and be like, I'm a pompous Almighty. Yeah. I am like. A weird title to me. Like I think that one's kind of oddly chosen.
Yeah, that one it was kind of weird. Maybe because they wanted to try it. I mean, well, this was supposed to be the trial season. Let's just be real.
Yeah,
this was
but that's you have the flawless title for that.
True.
But like the Almighty is like,
yeah.
Again, if the Almighty is the title, I have a skybox update and a 2-minute cinematic to open the season. Everything else has been Rasputin, Seraph Towers, bunkers, nothing related to Almighty this entire time.
Yeah. So no, I feel that part. I feel that part.
Just me. Somebody said it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I could wait. Almighty is just like,
yeah.
Yeah, and also it's related to this season, and also like the way you had to do that last triumph. It's just like pissed you off a little more because you had to recruit like the 9 people by public event worlds. Yeah. Please don't do that again. Please, please stop with the public events.
Let's not do it. Man.
Related stuff.
Yeah, no more community-driven, narrative-based events.
I don't mind the community stuff. I don't want community public event counters.
Yeah, like that.
Like Quarters of Time was cool to a point, and that was a different way the community. So it's like they have to keep coming up with weird stuff, but like the public event and then the public events, that was just salt in an open wound. That one.
But yeah, man, I'm hyped, man. I can't wait. Did you? I know we switching gears, so did you see that Outriders stream, sir?
Yeah. So Outriders. Everybody's like, oh, the next Stop saying that, by the way. I know you said it to me.
Destiny killer.
Oh, my God. Destiny has been around for a long time. People will hope to be as successful because nothing else you have to go for adoption rate. Now, am I intrigued by it? Yes. What from their stream, which was... I went to go, like, click on the Twitch stream, and it was like, live in 25 minutes. I was like, scroll ahead. Yeah. Like, those long live counters to a point, I'm like, you already told us the time. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I missed it. Let's see. And then I had to skip 25 minutes of like the pre-video. I'm like, all right. So can we not do that?
Yeah.
2 minutes and go. Like, that's all you need. A couple minutes and go. Like, people will still be there. They'll be waiting. People will talk in chat before you are live if you tell them when to be there.
Yes.
What'd you think, though? Just overall impressions of the reveal.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was solid. I had seen it before. They had an initial review. I want to shout out to my man Duggan from IGN. He was up there, and they were kind of fighting, like doing like a boss fight or whatever. And so I'm getting like a mixed match of different things. I'm definitely getting the third person division-y, over the shoulder, you know, running around, you got cover, you know. All right, let's just get the blatant stuff out the way. Whoever this trickster class is, straight up aesthetically looks just like a hunter. You know what I'm saying? So we got the three giants, you know what I'm saying? One looks just like, even though he's doing different things, he's doing time and space thing. It looks pretty cool. Look, overall it looks solid. You know, I think it's definitely PvE based. I don't personally look at this as competition to Destiny, they seem to be going away. Like, hey, we're not games as a service.
Yeah,
hey,
it's like a Borderlands. It's got a start and a finish.
Yeah,
like
this is a cut and dry. Like, hey, we're not an MMO. We're not doing microtransactions. You know what I'm saying? So the vibe I get, they're definitely in their own lane with that. I like the skill trees. I like the customization of the UI. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's nice to see. I think more could definitely take something from that.
Absolutely. The skill trees kind of remind me of a very expansive D1, but then you've got end paths to types of game styles. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I don't know how I feel about the running around. I feel like there's a lot of running around. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I feel about that just yet. Gunplay, I gotta see. It's very ability based. Put it this way. I think from what I've seen and how they're doing loot in the world tier system, they've got a chance to be around. The key for me is gonna be end game content, what keeps coming back once you beat said finite game.
Yep.
And intrigue. Are people going to be really drawn to this? Is it going to, listen, Anthem came out strong. We remember that, right? And I thought Anthem still looked better than this. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like Anthem, when I saw Anthem for the first time, I was way hype. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You remember, shout out to me, you, Stone. We was at Fort Tarsus. We jumped off the joint. We was like, oh, this is something. This is it. Now, I don't know if it has that initial feeling. I don't know if it's the world. It's something about nothing's just screaming to me like, yo, this is it.
It's like kind of another dystopian alien planet
situation.
And dystopian's probably the wrong word because that's overused, but it's like
right.
Stuff's gone wrong. Gotta go back, fight some humans, fight some monsters. You got skills, you got abilities, and in a sense, that's not a bad thing.
Right?
I like when they show the trickster. You've got like the time abilities, the way he's got to get in the mix and actually do damage to get kills and heal himself. Like those are going to be different. Right. The swipe to slow him down and the trickle of damage afterwards.
Yeah, that was cool.
I will say this is going to start looking like closer towards a next gen. Not quite.
Right.
It's not like Unreal Engine 5 crazy reveal.
Yeah.
But I will say it looked smooth from what I could tell. Pretty smooth. There were a couple of hiccups, but I mean, stuff's going to happen. Their audio started to glitch later on. Their video, like in the end, I was like, I need to download the video so it's smooth. So like whatever stream didn't go quite so hot. But the running around, like I just got done running around for like 50 hours in Neo. So I'm like, if there's some running and dodging.
You like that?
I don't mind that more for the sake of that mean combat is going to feel more active. Not, I can kind of like jump in a Destiny game and kind of move around, but we're like, hey, let me floof over to this platform as it goes away and shoot these enemies and then kind of like move back. It's not like I am active in a boss fight, like running.
Right.
I do enjoy that type of feel.
Okay.
It gives, because I mean, Division to me, especially, is like when you get into it, it's so tactical. You are plastered to that car door and you are stuck. Like cover is life in Division 2, even more than Division 1. Like you have to be in cover, like pink, and like even when I played Gears, like hadn't played them before, so point of reference. But I was like, I don't want to feel like I am so stuck to cover. I want to feel, mobile, and I liked the way that looked. So that was cool. The skill tree depth, where like kind of the first half, as you said, has some connections if you want to pick, but then you can deep dive down a tree. I want skill trees. Like, have you seen, by the way, the diamond shaped skill tree for Destiny that's been floating around Twitter?
Yes.
Yes, I would love to see them do a little more of something like that in the fall. I don't expect it, but again, need some new stuff. Yes. Overall, I think from what I've seen, I'm intrigued. Do I think it's going to be this awesome thing? I don't know. Borderlands, like, that's like a stylized, crazy humor and guns that are just bonkers. I think this one has a little more balance of a little more down to earth, because Borderlands is just crazy.
Yeah, they just out of
It's a little more, but also you still have like a Destiny weapon loot system. I mean, that's straight up a menu. They had a weapon that was, quote, called sunsetting, which God knows if that was like photoshopped in there, but somebody's definitely poking some fun right now.
Crystal wants that link for that Destiny thing.
I'll have to look for it. I'll have to look for that one, honestly. I don't know. I've just seen it pass through my feed.
Continue talking about the Destiny killer Outriders. Continue.
But I mean, you've got multiple abilities. There's 8 different abilities. I kind of like that, where you actually have more choices. So you've actually got 8 abilities. You can pick through which 3 you want to have active. It's got potential. And if it's like, hey, by yourself or co-op, it's got a decently long story. It's Square. You know they've got money to build a pretty sizable game. So I mean, they've been doing some quality stuff between Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy.
I just worry about how's their online? How's that game? Don't they got an online game going on? Or 15?
14's online.
14's
online.
Right? How's that could be? I don't know. I haven't really followed them, but I'm just
14
curious.
is like, people love 14.
Okay.
Like, it came out first, they shut it down, and then since they've brought it back, people absolutely love that game. People who started are like, dude, I'm like 100 hours in, and now I'm getting to that like most recent expansion, and I can't wait. Like, they do that level. I've only heard awesome stuff about 14.
Yeah. So it's them and people can fly. So listen, it's got potential. I will say this. As much as it's not wowing me, shout out to the dab, you know what I'm saying? But every team make me dab, but oh, salute. That's what's up. So as much as it's not wowing me graphically or story just yet, I do think the gameplay seems strong enough that it's going to be around, right? So the key comes down to, you know, obviously not them crashing and burning, you know what I'm saying, like how Anthem did initially, you know what I'm saying, so quickly. You know what I'm saying?
It feels like they've got a better foundation to start. Like,
yes.
But of course, if you play through it once and you're like, that was fine, is like new. Because I mean, when I sit there and I play through Neo and I'm like, I see the notion of what New Game Plus can offer. I'm like, dude, I'm honestly debating about playing that more in these next couple of weeks to experience that. Like, will this have that level? Because they said there's 15 world tiers.
Right.
And I hear world tier and I'm like, here we go again.
Here we go again.
We had Anthem, we had Division 2, we've had these things of like world tiers, and they only had like 3 or 5, and this is 15. And I'm like, now they did say it was like you could change it on the fly. And they also said it was kind of organic, right?
Yeah, that was
like
interesting.
Fluid, like how good you were, or if you were dying, or if you had to stay alive long enough to like unlock the next one. You can't just like pick it. So you actually got to kind of apparently get good. So it's got potential. I mean, to be one of those for me that like.
But let's ask the magic question.
Huh?
Let's ask the magic question, because I got to shout out my boy Rage Virus, LordsOfGaming.net, one of my writers, assistant editor for LordsOfGaming.net. He had a very interesting tweet, and we've gone back and forth. I had to attack him for this, but his tweet was, he can see lots of Destiny players leaving Destiny for this game. And we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about it.
Unfortunately, as the game has an end, it won't hold them as long. They might leave for a season and then come back type thing. It's not. Borderlands was the same argument. How long did that stay around?
I try to tell people, but they don't listen. But again,
not that long.
You know,
not that long.
His comment was, he could see, based on, you know, like, this is the game he wanted, and he could see other Destiny players really. And let's be honest, in his defense, right? Even though I don't agree, but in his defense, Destiny is at a low part right now, at this exact moment, in this season prior, right? So could this give Destiny players that have not, you know, could Outriders be that game? Like, we had Division, we had Anthem, you know, Destiny has survived a lot. You know what I'm saying? So could it be, man? Could this be finally the one? Could this be the dark horse that slays the mighty Destiny?
Yeah, I was like, and then I was like, is it? No, I don't think so. Mostly because, and then Ironside's just tagged us on a tweet if you want to look at it as well.
Okay, I'll look at it.
It's just showing the inventory is straight up exactly what you would expect. Resources, I mean, it's a Destiny inventory. They've done it well for a reason. If you're copied, what's the flattery is the sincerest form of a compliment, whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't think any game that is not live service is going to be the Destiny killer.
Okay.
Personally, and I'm not saying Destiny's perfect. It's not. Obviously, we have low points like this right now where they've stubbed every toe on their foot throughout the entire season, and it's been kind of rough.
Indeed.
Trials didn't launch. The Almighty story is like, may have the shortest lived thing ever. Nobody likes the public events, the bunkers, the lost sectors. Like, all we got is like a bunker clearing thing that you can honestly skip after you're done. Didn't do that after a while. And then you had public events, of which we did too many. We were so freaking tired of them. And then trials just flubbed everywhere. So like most things with this season have gone poorly. Yet when you picture a fall expansion, then you're going to try and pull people away from the fall expansion time when things are new and hot. That's when it's at its best. And if I don't know when Outriders comes out.
That's what we got to find out. We got to find out when it drops. I'm very curious for when's Outriders release. I'm looking at, because they may not have even gotten to that part yet. But I will say this, what do you feel about, I mean, let's be real. It seems like it's going to debut on next generation hardware. So they should have the graphical advantage of using a lot of next generation techniques. And I mean, let's be real. Bungie's an old, a current gen game that's probably
that's why I wanted D3 as the new engine.
Anyway. Oh, here we go. It says People Can Fly will launch Outriders on play. It says holiday season.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got potential for next gen for sure. And that's why when they were running around, when they were blowing stuff up, like I said, it was like it was kind of a gory game. Like the stuff they were doing, the slices, they had the X-ray skeleton showing. Like the effects were legit. Like it looked good. And if that stuff's running fluid, if you can run it 4K 60 or 1440 60 or however they pick their frame rates anymore, who knows? Who knows? Dakota, how are you awake right now? I don't know. There's no way she should be awake right now. Anyway, it has potential to look good, but as it has a start and a finish, if it's something, some people will latch onto that and they might do like, hey, the Diablo Paragon levels, this is my new thing. Right. Some may do that, but I think most may like, hey, it's a cool experience. I might try a little bit of this next tier level. But unless it's like ultra compelling and there's like continual stuff, people will try it and come back. That's what I would say. It's like somebody said in chat, they'll try it. I'll even probably go try it. It looks cool.
I'm going to try it. I'll try it. I think what they have going for them, this is what I will say, is what Anthem had over the Division, one of the few things, besides, was look cool, was that
space magic.
Space magic, right? And not fighting, regular human dudes who don't have any abilities and you shoot in the head and they got the, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that's your disconnect with Division, right? Because we are fighting creatures. And now here's the thing, like I said, shout out to Doug. I actually preferred his IGN's showcase of the game than, I mean, we got a lot of more information in this one from Square, but he actually did a boss fight. I don't know if you've seen that one. Yeah. He's fighting like some lightning dude, and it felt cool. You know what I'm saying? It felt like, okay. Well, I mean,
even in this one, there was like the mini boss that was like a 3 times the size, weird, funky lizard, 2-legged, bigger things. And that's where I said, like, the movement is like, hey, if they're like circling the boss and getting around the back and doing those types of things, like Destiny is fluid movement, but it's not the fastest movement. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you need a sparrow. But if you could have the fluidity of like kind of a superpowered-ish being, and also still have like the RPG elements to it as well, that's where again you intrigue me. So like it seems like potentially it's going to be a lot of fun. Is it going to be the game that I'm going to be playing for the next 3 years? No, I don't see that because it has an end, and something like that has an end is not going to keep my attention forever, especially because my backlog is forever and I cover a game that just continually lives. So that's where it's hard.
No, I hear you, and I me and you on the same page. I will say this though. If they're able to get and add an end game, because let's be real, one of the major problems that Division when Division started off strong, Division 2, all the features, all the things, the right things, saying the right things, doing the right things, having it set up.
Level 30, and then what?
Then they did say, yo, end game raid. I was like, oh, you're learning, right? And then that raid dropped. Oh,
man. Now, in theory, it was like, and that's where it's like a raid based in reality.
Right.
They did the best, honestly, like, while it was too damn hard for many.
Way too hard. Yeah.
They didn't want it to be easy and walked over. So be like, oh, well, Division raids are too easy, so we're going to make it freaking impossible. Right. 8-person raid, like, too many people collected together. It's already hard enough to get. People have learned from World. That's why World is no longer 40-person instances either. They don't do that anymore. But yeah, it was like you're stuck in reality. And that was why Anthem, if Anthem had an end game.
But see, I got to stop you for a second. You're completely right. And I'm going to give it back to you with the Anthem thing. But with Division messed up, they had the potential. Like, you could have fought like a helicopter or something. You know what I'm saying? You could have done something. I thought we were going
to, actually.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just botched it. Like, because to me, they had the tools to be competitive with Destiny. They had it. And then they just made this bonehead, non-interesting raid. And the going into it, the airport was cool. But what you fought was some whack satellite. And I know.
Yeah, a little thing like, shoot this. A little thing opens up. And then this.
I'm like, why? Like, so they lost. And now back to your point. I know you're going to go to Anthem. Man, Anthem could have. Oh, I'm still pulling for Anthem, man. That was the one I wanted to. What'd you say in the chat? That's the one I wanted to try to really do this thing right, man. Because they had the characters and the
Interceptor for me was a blast.
Yeah,
the way that played on PC for me, fluid, fast, snappy, jump, spin, fly, all over the place.
Yeah,
like
that was a ninja.
And then on the other side, and this is where it's like one of the reasons I would love Anthem to have been more successful. You compare an Interceptor to a Storm, and they cannot feel more
different.
And unfortunately, in Destiny, we have a different jump, but we never feel that different.
Yeah,
the Destiny classes really don't. Yeah.
Classes in Anthem.
What was the big guy? Colossus?
The Colossus, yeah, big boy, just coming in tanking. You know what I'm saying? I like this
giant, and he had a physical shield. Like he didn't have like a projection shield. He had a physical shield. Like, and I'm gonna literally run through you with this thing. Like, bro, they had classes that felt different, and then you had your jack of all trades. It's like, okay, you pick your Mario class versus your Yoshis or your Bowsers. Like, you got your, but it was like. They had that, but it was like there was nothing to do in that game, which was sad. But they felt different, and that's one of those things. If these classes, we got to see the Trickster in this one. If the others have a different feel, like this one's like teleport behind him, get your assassin type swipes, and you're covering time, and you're doing. Trying to forget the other ones. I know there was like the time space thing. There, a couple different trees.
Right.
If they make the classes, and one of them still a question mark class, they've only even mentioned 3 classes.
Yeah, they had a question mark class.
They had a 4th. So it's like, if you have 3 classes that have a distinct feel to them, that also gives people more reason to at least even play it again.
Yeah, Pyromancer, Trickster, Devastator, and an unannounced 4th class. They said people can fly.
The Pyromancer would be like your mage. Then you have your assassin. Devastator will be like your warrior, your more physical class. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Look, they got a shot gameplay wise. I think they got a shot gameplay wise, but
it looks snappy, fluid, fun.
Yeah.
Space magic fun. Like you've got a mix of a lot of varieties and guns, and you'll probably have some melee, the big melee SWAT. Like they have potential. My interest has been triggered.
Yeah, like I said, all I tell people is just let's pump the brakes on Destiny killer stuff.
Yeah,
I hate
that should stop.
When a new game comes out and the first thing people say, it's like, I don't know if you just hate Destiny that much that you have to hope and wish this game to be dead. That the next thing, because I heard it with Anthem, I heard it with Division 2, and it's like, let this game breathe. Let it do what it's going to do.
Whether YouTube comments can confirm, some people just hate this damn game.
Yeah, and I get it. I get it, bro. You know, shout out to Disney. It's dead, cock. You know, Ares. Oh, wow, Ares didn't even touch Anthem. It just kills me with the rhetoric, and I'm just like, listen, let these dudes live. They're in their lane. They clearly saying that they're not trying to really be in that games as a service beat. They're doing their thing that has a lot of potential. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we've seen these games, you know. And another narrative I want to please put to bed. Can we stop with the, not you, E, but for the people, can we stop with the Destiny hasn't had any competition? No, they've all been defeated. That's what it is. All of them. You know what I'm saying? Every time someone opens their mouth, and listen, Destiny's at its lowest point right now, and still thriving mad hard. And you know what happens? What's next week happens? and that trailer drops, and it's season of the oh my god,
oh,
here
it's
we
on
go.
like Donkey Kong, man.
You know, exactly. You know what happened. Oh, Stevie Gray in the building. What's going on, brother? The GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what? So again, I just want people to just pump the brakes. A new game. I understand the new girl's here. Everyone wants to talk to her. Right? I get it. It's a new MMO in town. Everybody push. Hey, this might be where I wanted. I get it. Let's just pump the brakes. Let's let it live. Let it develop. Let's see where they go. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta launch. They gotta get through. And we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Destiny is going to be Destiny. You know, even in its lowest point, this is a cyclical thing. We know how this goes. New content drops.
This is the rough spot, and then everybody's like, we look back on just the spring seasons as like, woof, but man, those fall expansions, woo!
Bro, when it comes up here, and your timeline is just inundated with all the Destiny, when I see every content creator talking, you know what I'm saying? And the videos are popping and the trailers going and the new stuff and sandbox and new weapons. Destiny is something completely different. And this is where I give Bungie so much credit. When it comes to pure gunplay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pure gunplay, pure marketing, when they actually connect story beats and they do that, there is nothing better than Destiny in that. That's where it just wins hands down. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm excited. Let's see what Outriders can do. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I'm excited. But
well, you've got like Outriders, you've got Godfall,
real goal is.
You've got things that are going to be fun games, and it's just again on the life. But it's like I will say in the world of gunplay, if you guys haven't tried it, Remnant from the Ashes.
Yeah.
One of the better feeling gunplay games, like Destiny's first person, but for a third person, the way that game played, the way it like felt, there is one of the coolest reload animations on a gun I have ever seen in that game. Remnant from the Ashes is awesome, and it scratches that soul itch. So it's like gun souls, and I was like, this is friggin' perfect. Like, but again, I played through it, finished the story, had a cool experience, played a little bit more, came back to Destiny. Like, that game was like Neo 2, freaking amazing. Inside, 4 hours. Like, you'll have these adventures, but Destiny is always going to be pulling us back.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing, too, is also when we talk about those exotics and those guns, exactly. Oh, the dab.
Even the dab. That one up. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Like it's just something to be said when you get these unique guns, and there's just nothing that feels. Shout out to Neil Mills. He said there's always going to be something against it. It's the top slot. Well, I appreciate you saying it's the top slot, brother. Coming from you, I know you like Division as well, so I gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, listen. Everybody wants that Destiny bag, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? The other developers, they see the success. They want to be part of those finishes. Remember when they announced finishes, Dakota? Right? Listen.
Now man. I will tell everybody on this podcast to have. Here's a little bit of homework. If you guys can go back and find 2 videos, the one from June, the Out of the Shadows Vidoc, and then the one from September, the Moon and Beyond. Go watch those. Some things have aged well. Finishers were cool. Some things, like a renewed focus on PvP, that line has not aged well. So there are certain things that, like, you see them really excited, like the Artifact. Yeah. And there's certain, like, when it comes to the fall expansion, this actually might be a fun thing. If we don't have much to talk about next week, I kind of want to go rehash some of these things to like re-look back at the previous year and see what potentially could get revealed. Next week we could have God knows 3 hours to talk about, but if not, like the Artifact, that is something I want to see evolve. It has been pretty samey for the past year. Yeah. So like the Artifact needs to evolve. Like the mods that I forget what I was listening to, the mods from the Artifact. Not one of those have made it into the game. They said, hey, if we like some from the Artifact, they may come into the game later. None of that has come in. So, yeah, some of that stuff in those trailers is cool. And also go listen to the way they described Season 11. Aries and I, like, we looked for it the other night, and we listened. It's like, Season 8, this. Season 9 is the start. Season 10 is kind of getting things rolling. Season 11 is going to bring everything together that we built over the past year. And it's like, gotta see it. So.
Yeah, shout out to CB. He's like season 11. He will be like unlike any season. They're definitely going to do something that is going to be cataclysmic. I also feel in the lore, in conjunction with gameplay. One thing about Bungie, you have to admit, when it comes to an expansion content in September, right? Those September updates always bring it, man. Always. The track record speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? Between Shadowkeep, Rise of Iron, Taken King, Forsaken, whatever September, they not only introduce usually new gameplay mechanics, new things that it's just not just your average. It's almost like a revamp. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In those things. And
we're at a point where it potentially could have been a D3. And that stuff's coming into D2. So
I agree. I think it's Rise of Iron 2.0 in a sense. Yeah, in a sense. Because I think they're not ready, obviously, for D3. So we're going to give you this big chunk of extra stuff.
It better be bigger than Rise of Iron. This has got to be a Taken King size. Forsaken. This has to be Taken King Forsaken size. This can't be Shadowkeep Rise of Iron. If it's that small, that will be a struggle, especially if the pyramid ships are involved. It has to be one of the biggest things yet because it's been building for 6 years. To me, to do it justice.
Shout out to Dizzy. He said he plays the expansion, don't really care for the season. Listen, a lot of people have been on that bag. Shout out to Gathalion. He's been in that bag. He's been like, look, season content is not for me. But he said expansion content is for him. And look, that's fine. Like, that is completely, Bungie is okay with that. Trust me when I tell you, they are definitely okay. Destiny game posted and PS5 announced. Well, hold on. Miss Aries just said there's something going on. We got another Destiny the game announcement live. We get a lot of live stuff today, man.
I know, this is a hell of a morning. The future of gaming. So they have the picture. I just literally looked up PlayStation. Kotaku article had it first, but there's a picture of PlayStation 5. The future of gaming. Join us June 4th, 1 p.m. Pacific. Woo! So 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. for you. On PS5.
Thursday, yeah, June 4th, yeah. Oh, so you thinking DM? Okay, PS5. That's the game posted and DM announced June 4th. But Aries is Destiny. I got the PS5 reveal. I got that. That's hard.
And then are you talking about the weird sound graphic earlier, Aries?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that he's talking about the weird, or did he hear something in conjunction with Destiny and PlayStation? That's what I just wanted to make sure. Because that would be cataclysmic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dizzy, LordsOfGaming.net, already on it. My man, I already see. I got the tweets out. I'm going to put the tweet out. LordsOfGaming.net, my guys, out here working hard.
Reveal.
Yeah, man.
Woo.
That's big. That's big, y'all. That's big. He said maybe we'll see what the power cable look like. Look, we're going to get hopefully we get the console, man. Hopefully we get the console. We've seen the controller. We've got it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, next, I'm telling you, man, remember what I told you, E? You got me hyped. We started the show on a downbeat, and I told you next week is going to shake the earth. I would be at E3 next week, and we're getting E3, so to speak, in a way next week. It's going to be crazy. Oh, no, that's cool, Aries. Thanks for giving us the heads up, though. No, we definitely did. We actually had a weird moment of silence where we were just trying to listen, and I kept talking.
I tried to have a moment of silence. That did not even remotely happen.
And don't get mad at me because Bungie didn't give you
We can't hear your claps, but I asked for a moment of silence and I can't get it for a minute and 13 seconds. Are you freaking kidding me?
Don't get mad at me because Bungie didn't give you no substantial content to listen to.
You have to be quiet and listen. Jeez. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to LordsOfGaming.net. They on that PlayStation 5 story, man. Let's be fresh. Oh,
I worked that night, but man, I hope that thing is... Oh, that's gonna
Dizzy,
be crazy.
Why is that not featured? I want that on the top of the site, Dizzy. You're my COO. Come on now. That's huge. That needs to be.
So we'll be talking about that next week as well, guys. Because while this is a Destiny podcast, we're gamers as well. So if the PS5 reveal has crazy stuff in it, we will discuss. So
yo, this is the first time we've done the last word. Like breaking news is going on.
This is the wrong time for news. It never happens on a Friday morning.
Never happens.
Like 2 for 2.
Or it happens when we get off, right? And then it'll be like 1 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll announce something. This is huge, man. We got the Pyramid Doritos mixtape. They just dropped a new mixtape. They dropped a new song.
Mixtape. Oh, my God.
We got that. And then we got the PS5 only here, man. First, broke it here first on the last word, man. This is awesome. It's live. It's live.
Oh, the video, there's a YouTube video. If you go check it out in like high res, it shows a crispy view of the controller. So you actually get to see the texture on the controller and the buttons and everything.
Let me see. Let me see.
Here, I'll drop it in chat. It's just literally
I see it. Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like a 16-second video. It's more clear on YouTube because you can go higher res.
Oh, let me retweet my guys, man. My guys are working hard right now. Lords of Gaming.net. I love y'all out here working hard.
So this is what happens when Destiny has weird things happen. Apparently, it breaks our podcast. But it has been a fun one, guys. I don't want to wrap it up because I feel like something else is going to happen.
I feel like something else is going to
something's going to happen.
Stay
Something's going to drop
for a little bit.
Bungie's. I swear we're going to like shut it down. I'm going to do a Zer video. Then an hour later, there's going to be a Destiny thing, and we're back for podcast number 2 of the day. I'm going to be like, Cognito, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Why are you asleep? I'm going live. See you then.
Like we're gonna miss something else. Like it's a lot of stuff bubbling right now, man. I'm feeling the excitement. I'm feeling excitement, man. We got PS5 reveal, PS5 and the launch games, y'all. Launch games are gonna come out next week. Wow,
Where'd you see the launch games?
Yeah, shout out lordsofgaming.net, sir.
Come on,
bro. Come on, you gotta plug me now. Give me. We got cited by IGN. I'm feeling myself right now. I'm feeling a little Hollywood. Shout out to the lordsofgaming.net, man. We got actually cited by Windows Central. PC Gamer and from Minecraft Dungeons. So, a little smaller site, but we ought to come up. So, yeah, looks like, shout out to Gene. Looks like, okay, yeah, it's going to be launch plans.
Oh, on the blog. There it is.
Yeah, the blog. Jim, shout out to Jim Dance Move Ryan. That's why I'm excited to share that we will soon give you a first look at the games we were playing on PlayStation 5 launching this holiday. The games come to PlayStation 5 represent the best in the industry from the innovative studios that span the globe. Woo! Then it says there's also a rumored State of a Play event in August that will go into detail PS4, PSVR, and PS5. Wow, this is gonna be crazy, man. Shout out to Dramatic, brother. Thanks for stopping by. This was.
Can we at least see what the console? If I don't know what the console looks like by Friday, I'm gonna flip my desk. And this thing's heavy, so I really gotta work out between now and then.
Oh man, this is big. Are you excited, man? Are you excited?
Yeah, like this is like gamer. This is gamer Christmas right now. This is gamers Christmas. Is E3 and announcements and new games. And once every 8 years or so, we get to enjoy a new console as well.
Yep, big man, good stuff. Good stuff. I am pop. He said, "Start flipping.
Start flipping, sir. You're not gonna see what that thing looks like." They're not going to tell us the price because that's a fight of chicken up until like November 1st. It's still going to be this game of chicken. I love Paul Tassie's tweet the other day. It's like, so like Jeff Keighley is on stage between Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan, and they have to play rock, paper, scissors, and who tells their price first.
Yeah, they're definitely playing a game of chicken on price. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
There's rumors. There's 2 different size hard drives for the PS5. I've seen that rumor out there that there's like a 825 gig versus the 1.6 terabyte, which would probably just be 2 of their SSDs for price.
Yeah. Oh man, shout out to the link I posted.
Wait, the link you posted shows some of that console?
Oh, okay. They got a little video. PlayStation 5 game console with PlayStation voice. Oh, they got a video. There is a YouTube video.
I think that's concept. I think that's made up.
Oh, it's concept. Okay.
I've seen some very cool.
Old. Like, this is old.
I've seen some very cool fan made stuff.
Yeah, that's fan made stuff. That ain't it.
No,
that's fan made. Fan made.
It's cool, but yeah, there's no. I've not seen anything official yet.
Yeah, that's not official yet because I'm.
So we apparently have gone off the rails here today, everybody, to say the absolute least. But
yeah, man,
we probably should wrap up this Destiny podcast. Maybe
we should wrap that up. No, I agree.
It is. It has been a lot of fun though with you guys this morning. So if you do not follow Bungie on Twitter, do that. That's going to be a good thing in the next few days, week, 12 days, however long this crazy, they're going to drop an entire CD before we get it if they go all the way to the 12th. They're going to have 12 tracks out there, 1 minute long, pyramid ships out there, dropping beats. Kevin, what's up, man?
What's up?
So we are going to wrap up the recording. Of course, you guys know we got to send the love out there. So if you guys will hang on as we wrap up our recording for the recording piece, then we're going to send over the raid to send some love out there. So tell them what you got. We'll try and wrap this thing up because this is just ridiculous. We are so off the rails right now.
It's off the rails. It's just so many breaking news that dropped off.
I know.
Shout out to Sinister that came in late. Listen, man, you already know, man. Lord Cognito on Twitter, Iron Lord Podcast. On Sunday, we will have the game. My Bostonians on, man. The Wicked Gaming Group, man. Love these guys. They are so talented. Absolutely hilarious. They usually add us with packs. We usually meet them in the flesh. These guys are true gamers, super talented. They do shoutcasting. They do everything, man. These guys are so tune in. We're obviously going to be talking about PlayStation 5. We're obviously going to be talking about everything that's going on with next gen, Xbox, everything, man. This is a big Sunday. So Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, YouTube. If you don't want to catch it on YouTube, we're on Twitch. We're on Mixer. We're on Facebook, Iron Lords Podcast. So just tune in, sub, man. It's a great group of guys. We're doing that. And then also got to salute the Lords of Gaming.net, man. So proud of my guys. Again, fan-made site made by the gamers. And, dude, we had a big week as far as growth and as far as being recognized by our peers. And shout out to IGN who sourced us. Shout out to Windows Central, Jess Gordon, who sourced us. And shout out to also PC Game. A lot of bigger outlets used we had our first big break, and I was very proud of the guy. Shout out to Rage Virus. He's also the big Outriders fan, but I want to salute him, man. He did a fantastic job. And all around our editorial team, man, these guys work hard. And last but not least, please, on the Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel, please support my brother King David. He's doing the King of Statues. This man has a mausoleum of comic book and pop culture statues. So if you're into like Marvel Comics, DC Comics, he's got a crazy Colossus right now. 90s X-Men looks amazing. Please support that. And yeah, man, please support The Last Word, man. We'll try to give you guys great content, and we're moving and grooving out here. And shout out to Dan. Yeah, you seen the Colossus. It's awesome, man. But we really appreciate the support. And thanks for rocking with us. We didn't think we was going to have much to talk about. And then it was like, boom, stuff to talk about.
Just things. We speculated for a while and things trickled in. So yeah, for me, honestly, it's probably just going to depend on what Destiny feels like dropping and what I'm going to be doing. I might be dabbling in something else. I got about, 2 weeks until June 19th. The Last of Us 2 is definitely going to be a priority when that drops. So I'll be streaming that one live on Twitch. You guys, of course, keep up with the content. Probably a season review, sunsetting discussion, couple videos that I got planned just to wrap up the season. But it is kind of like waiting on the edge until I really say anything else, because if I say one thing, the next day crazy things change, maybe kind of pointless. So waiting to see what happens for the time being. But you guys can find me Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, subscribe, alert bells for both of us. Hit the subscription button and the alert bells. Definitely helps us both, because YouTube is all sorts of crazy about that stuff. But it's been episode 105, May 29th, and we are almost to the Christmas of Gamers Time in June. So next week is going to be... I don't know how long next week's podcast is going to be, honestly. But we're going to have plenty to talk about, and we will be working on a guest for you guys as well, potentially lots to discuss. So stay tuned for that one. Follow us on the Twitters.
Oh, Maddie,
thank you guys very much,
brother. He said the best. That my man, Maddie, that humbled. Truly humbled by that. Thank you so much, brother. We're going to go raid Lulu. Awesome. Just really cool play alert. Yep. So go send her some love. Thank you guys very much. And for episode 105, May 29th, it has been The Last Word.